Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Night Owl, a show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Well, I haven't spent a lot of time bitching about Green Lantern today, so we've got that. We can definitely spend some time
I did
playing.
post my review of
I
episode
did see
2.
that, yes.
Uh, and yeah, I
No.
posted it. You know what? The first one, I was more passionate about doing that review. The second episode, honestly, and especially because I had to watch it again and kind of write notes and all that stuff. It is a boring, stupid episode. Beyond all the agenda
Yeah.
peddling and all that stuff, it's just kind of like a chore to watch. And I said that in my review. It's not even like, see, Starfleet Academy, for example, it was awful. It was awful. I suffered. But I will say that finally, when I had to do the review, there were some jokes to be made there. You know, there's some funny things you could say, and it's ridiculous. So you can turn it into a funny experience because of how bad it is. But in Lantern's case, it's so kind of like somber and annoying that there's not a ton of things that I find hysterical as much as it just kind of sucks. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's not even that train wreck that you enjoy watching. I didn't really enjoy even watching the train wreck of Starfleet Academy because I like Star Trek and they took a dump on it. But if you separate from that, there's some jokes. There's some jokes you could make there. I think that this Lanterns thing is just so boring. I just to even explain what happens in every scene. It just I don't know. This whole idea of trying to put the shove it into True Detective and Fargo is so ill-advised in my opinion, and I don't know. I know that the first episode, they said the ratings were great. Not one peep about the second episode.
Yeah,
Nobody's been
we
talking
have
about the
not
ratings.
still have not heard anything about the ratings, which tells you only one thing. Those numbers went down. And they probably went down a lot. And they're not interested in promoting, like, oh, the first week, look, it's the biggest premiere we've ever had, and then this week it's like radio silence, right? So
Right.
clearly that number did not make them happy.
Now, the question is, yeah, if it would have, let's say, gone up from week to week, they would have done another announcement saying, "Hey, our ratings have gone up. 20 million tuned in yesterday," but they didn't say anything. Listen, a premiere, people watch it. The question is if they're going to continue to watch it, and I think that even if, let's say, some people watch the premiere and some of them were suckered in by a few of those mystery boxes, by the time you get to episode two, I, in my opinion, just forget about Green Lantern, forget about anything about the source material. Just as an hour of television, I thought it was boring.
It was boring. It was. Yeah. I mean, we talked about it on Tuesday. It's just dull, right? And there's not much happening. Yeah, we got introduced to some some new characters. They went a little bit deeper with the mystery box, introduced some more mystery box with there's the alien detectors and we got the manhunters and whatnot. And that was it, right? I mean, honestly, the plot that we got, the amount of actual plot they put into that episode could have fit into 20 minutes. There was no character growth, like nothing.
You know what's strange? That there's a website I was trying to get to, and every time I go there, it says I'm blocked. It's very weird.
Is it Cosmic Book News?
How do you know? Do you
Because
ever
it happens to me too.
Why? Why is it
Like,
blocked though?
No, I have no idea. Like they clearly have some kind of something going on their end to try and like block people from being able to like scrape their website or something. And yeah, about half the time that I open Cosmic Book News, I get a thing that says this website is blocked. And then if I reload it one or two times, I'm able to get in. It's so weird.
Oh, wait. You know what? I'm about to eat some crow, Professor.
Is that, yeah?
Because I see that they just posted, Cosmic Book News just posted.
Yes, I see that just not long ago.
Let's see if I can. Oh, but I can't share it because I opened it on something on a different browser.
Here, I'll got it. All right. Oh, you'll have to put it in presentation. Yeah. Oh, still there, Bryce?
Yep.
Yep. Oh, you'll have to put it in presentation so I can share it. Yep. There we
Okay.
go. Yep. Episode 2 beats premiere numbers, passes House of the Dragon. Oh, okay.
But wait a
So
second. Passes House of the Dragon now that it's not new episodes. It's not passing I don't think that it's doing better than House of the Dragon. That would really surprise me, but I could be wrong.
a quick word. So it says episode 2 has posted the highest single day total on HBO Max's worldwide chart since the series arrived, according to Flix Patrol. So this is different numbers because the numbers that were reported last week were straight from HBO Max, right?
Right.
So these are different numbers from a different service. I don't trust this.
I understand. But
This is not apples and apples.
No, I
This is
understand.
apples and oranges.
What's he
But
saying?
anyway,
That beats the premiere's own peak and blows past House of the Dragon. Okay, House of the Dragon already ended.
yeah.
It ended in August 9th. It's not going to continue to be number one since, it's been weeks since that ended. So it makes sense that that wouldn't be number one. The question is, okay, a quick word on what these numbers are. Flix Patrol scores every show by its daily top 10 positions on HBO Max in nearly 60 countries. It's not a measure of viewership.
Yeah. So it's not even the same measurement.
Right. So basically, what I understand is this: HBO Max, they don't have any other new shows, so it's doing better now than House of the Dragon that ended 3 weeks ago. But that would make sense because people that wanted to watch House of the Dragon have already watched that. Let's say a few people were late to the finale, maybe somebody had to catch up on a few episodes. They've pretty much done that, and the only other show that they really have that's new and they're pushing is Lanterns. And it's also probably those situations that you go into HBO Max and immediately they're showing you like a banner. Do you want to watch Lanterns? It's our hit show. It's a blah, blah, blah. They're probably doing all that stuff. So maybe some people are clicking on it, but I don't know necessarily, the fact that it's number one on HBO Max relative to a show that already ended 3 weeks ago. It's really, it's basically, I'm not saying that it's not doing well. I'm just saying that this is not my, I can't really take this data seriously one way or another. I think that what really matters is what's going to happen with Nielsen. Once Nielsen comes out, we'll know if this thing is like a serious contender, if it's really, was a serious player in the market, or it was a lot of just smoke and mirrors from HBO. And I really think that until Nielsen, we won't know for sure.
Yeah. So the higher a series ranks in more places, the more points it banks that day. Popularity ranking, not viewer count. So it beat the popularity ranking on Flix Patrol from the previous week, but we do not have second week viewing numbers.
No.
So yeah, so it went up compared to last week. According to what this shows, that a few days ago, House of the Dragon was still on top, and Lanterns was like number 3, according to like Flix Patrol stuff.
Yes.
So okay, so it did better in its second week on their little popularity top 10 lists on different sites, kind of thing.
Also,
all right, fair enough. I mean that if it's doing better popularity wise on there, but at the same time, like you said, there are fewer things that people are interested in watching. There are fewer new shows because House of the Dragon is already finished, right?
It's also the end of the summer, which is not typically a time where there's like a million things. So I don't think that there were a lot of other shows coming out that really were competition to this thing. Now, maybe people that have HBO, they are enjoying the show. I don't really know, but I think that this is a show that the real question is not if somebody tuned into a premiere. The question is if they're going to really hang on here for this entire period of time. If this series is so interesting that people are going to watch it now for like all these weeks and continue with these high ratings. I don't know. The other thing I'll tell you, and this is just my opinion, the people that explain what the number one thing is on Amazon or what the number one thing on Warner Brothers or what number one thing on Netflix, you know who actually reports that?
Who?
They do. I mean,
Oh yeah.
basically, they're the ones in charge of the app. Meaning, if I had a streaming service, I could theoretically say that some new show that came out is number one. You could say that it's, I'm acting in bad faith, but do I know? Have they guaranteed that they're not fudging the numbers? Do I know that these shows that they say are number one really number one? I have no way of knowing that.
Yeah, yeah. So Georges Irex was saying in the chat, he says, "What is popularity if not viewership?" Well, that's what we're saying is that it's two different things. So if you're talking about viewership, sure. What we got last week were numbers. Of course, you have to consider the source. It's coming from the business, from the company that's trying to say, hey, look how many people watched this. And so they can decide how they count that viewership, right? We've had this discussion before. We've talked about how different systems, different streaming services have different metrics. On some of them, you have to have watched 30 seconds. It counts as a view. Some of them, if you watch one frame of it, it counts as a view, right?
Right.
Some of them you have to watch the whole show. That's very, very few of them, right? That do that. So most of them, it's like, if you watch at least 15 seconds of it, that counts as a view. And so that's counting viewership. That's people who actually turned it on and watched the episode, however much it is that they count as watching the episode. This is simply saying popularity. So it is looking at Netflix, HBO, Disney Plus, these different things, and saying, Netflix says these are its top 5 shows right now. So it just takes that, it pulls it, and it says, here's the popularity of these shows based on what they're saying. When you're talking about HBO Max, they say, hey, these are our top, 10, whatever, the most popular things on our thing. Now, we don't actually know, like you said, whether theirs are actually popular or not, because they're just the ones saying this is how popular they are. And what it also doesn't tell us is, what does that mean? Because if, let's say, as is pointed out here in this article,
I just want to quickly say Mexican Iron Man is here. Mikey is here. He writes, I'm back, and Lantern still sucks. Tijuana donkey ass. Well, I agree with you 100%.
Cheers.
I always get excited.
Mexican
when
Iron
Mikey
Man
is here, I'm always happy. So thank you for being here, Mike.
Yeah.
But go on. Sorry.
But yeah, no. So as it says right here in this article, right, that, hey, Acolyte was number 1 on Disney Plus, but nobody was watching it. It just happened to be. It was number 1 because nobody was watching anything else on Disney Plus either.
No, right? Because a lot of times these services, they have like one new show, and that's the show that they have. So if you have this service and they keep also putting a banner and telling you, you want to watch the thing, we recommend, at the whole screen, they're like, basically they're just setting it up that you press play. They're the number 1 new blah, blah, blah in the country. They'll write whatever they need to, and you click on it. That's one thing. And like you said, they click for a second and turn it off. That's considered popular. The other thing is that I still would argue that who knows who is there a fair system that decides who the number 1 is? Do we really know? Especially
it has to be it has to be a third party, right? A third party that is getting its data from outside of these companies. Really, all we've got is Nielsen, right? That's really all we have when it comes. There's a few others actually. Because there's those companies that are actually pulling data from your TVs, right? From smart TVs. So they have some external data as well. But that's what you can trust, because you can't trust HBO Max or Disney Plus or whatever to tell you, oh, yep, here's how, we had 9 million people watched it, or it was watched 9 million times or whatever. But we don't really actually know that, right? Because again, we don't necessarily know how they're counting it. We don't, So, if it could
vague,
be,
yes.
Yeah, it could be that. Lanterns is number 1 this week compared to last week on HBO, where it wasn't number 1. But it could also be true at the same time that there's just fewer people watching anything. And last week, Lanterns was number 3 with 9 million, and this week it's number 1 with only 5. because
Also,
fewer people are just watching stuff
and to
altogether.
say that the House of the Dragon that ended 3 weeks ago is now in, like, number 2, it's not number 1. I mean, the show is over, it's not gonna be number 1 forever. Most shows, when they're done, they're done. Yeah, some people will still watch them, they'll still be in the top 10 for a while, apparently, but I don't know. I mean, I'll give you an example. Recently, there was a new show with Will Ferrell that he plays a golfer. I watched it. It was all right. I watched like the first episode. Back in the day, I liked a lot of Will Ferrell stuff. I didn't feel like this was his strongest material. I kind of was like half okay with it. I didn't keep watching it. I just didn't get a chance. I don't know. Like I didn't watch it anymore. But like then I looked and like for a while it said like number one, number one, number one. It could be number one. At the same time, like, do we really know? Do we have like a guarantee from Netflix that when they say it's number one, it is number one? Could they possibly just say, hey, we feel like putting this in the top? I also sometimes see a movie that like you haven't seen the movie in 10 years, okay? And suddenly it's on the top 10 of Netflix. You know what I think? I think somebody from Netflix, they either push it in their recommendations initially and then it starts picking up steam and they put it there, or maybe they just put it there. They put it in number 7. There's some movie and they put it there just for, shits and giggles. And do I have a way of knowing? Do I have a way of finding out of knowing if they were telling the truth or not? I don't know. I'm asking you seriously. Do us, the public, do we have a way of knowing if that top 10 is accurate or they could just fudge it? I don't know.
I genuinely think they could fudge it. Now, if they start fudging it too
Too much,
much,
yeah.
then it can become an issue for a publicly traded company, right? If they're saying like, oh, hey, we had 38 million viewers last week, everyone's watching it, come check out Lanterns, and then it's found out that no, they actually had 9, right? They could get them, in a mess for that kind of thing, for trying to
Right, but
basically
on their own
mislead
thing to just say that it's
shareholders. But
number 1 versus number 2, I don't think that that's a big deal.
yeah, no, no. If they're just measuring, if they're just saying, hey, this is the most popular show on our service, how does that actually get measured or whatever, right? Because you could say, well, it's the most popular because we've seen the most interest. It's not that it's the one that everyone's watching, not that the one, they could just say, here's our most popular show because it's the one that's getting the most traction on social media, right?
I
So
guess.
they don't actually tell you what being the most popular show on the service necessarily means.
Like I said, I am not saying it's impossible that it's doing well. I'm not going to say that there's no chance, but I saw the first episode and I saw the second episode, and the second episode, even forget about if it's you like Green Lantern, forget about if you care about the adaptation or anything. Objectively speaking, the first episode, which I didn't enjoy, I still think it was better than the second one, which I didn't enjoy even more than the first one. And part of the problem with the second one, in my opinion, was it was boring. It was a boring episode. It's like, see, in True Detective and Fargo, sometimes you have something called a slow burn. And you know what? In those shows, those slow burns work because they actually build the story. They have character arcs, they have developments, and they gradually build that up. And it's interesting and it's something that you enjoy watching if you're into that sort of thing. Doing this Green Lantern thing as a slow burn in a True Detective style, in the second episode especially, you could tell that it's like people trying to copy something. They don't have that strong foundation from the storytelling perspective that they're building some kind of slow burn on it. What they're doing is just nonsense. Now, is it are people being duped? I don't know, but I think that the second episode was a snooze personally.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the insult with all the white men and whatever, like I thought it was a snoozy episode.
Yeah, it was a pretty boring episode. I think that was when I texted you. I think that one of the first words in my text was boring. It was
Y-
dull. There was just not much happening in that episode,
I'll
and
give you an example.
yeah.
And I think this is a good example. When I saw what's his face, I saw the Odyssey. I told you, listen, there's a lot of issues with this movie, and of course, if you wanted the adaptation, it's not a good adaptation, all that stuff. But I said to you this. I was able to sit for 3 hours and sort of accept it for whatever it was, and I said it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It wasn't like a flying color situation, but it wasn't like the worst thing I'd ever seen. I was able to sit and watch it. Now, I couldn't say the same about episode 2 of Lanterns. It wasn't that, like, it had the woke weird thing in it, but there was something about it that I could still say, "Well, that's kind of cool." There was really nothing cool about it. There was not one thing that I could say, "Okay, this is kind of cool." Like, in the Odyssey, for example, when they're in the cave with the Cyclops thing, I kind of like that scene, or the lady with the pigs, or whatever. You could say it's not a faithful adaptation, and I accept all of that. But just sitting there and watching it, at least I saw something, that wasn't completely bad about these isolated scenes. I can't say anything about episode 2 of Lanterns. There wasn't even one thing that I saw that I said, "Wow, like, man, this is awesome." Not one thing.
Yep. Agreed.
So, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, I understand Cosmic Book News is reporting whatever he can report. Flix Patrol said it. I sometimes even think that these big studios give, like, these type of Flix Patrols maybe, like, allegedly, like, an envelope, and suddenly Flix Patrol is like, it's the best thing ever.
Mm.
I don't have any way to
Yep.
prove it, but you know what I'm saying. Professor,
Yep.
are you
Sorry, I was
okay?
looking something up.
I will say something else that I saw on Cosmic Book News, that they published an article that said that James Gunn, and this has been the thing where past 24 hours, people are saying James Gunn is staying until 2027, until his contract runs out, and all this stuff. And sometimes a few people ask me why I don't do these James Gunn updates every 5 minutes anymore, is because I said a while ago this exact thing. Whatever, can you find that article from today? This Cosmic Book News one that they said that James Gunn is staying. Here, Paramount
Well,
plans to keep James Gunn.
uh
Here, it's on the right. Do you see trending 1, 2, 3?
okay. Right there. Yeah, okay.
So, our insiders only until the contracts run out.
Yeah,
So,
which if you believe the numbers that we've gotten before, James's contract runs out in June or July of this next year.
right.
So that means that he's done at the same time that the next Superman movie drops. Like, that's it.
And
His
yeah, and
contract is over.
that's the same thing that I have said all the time. See, that's exactly why I don't do these videos every second, because listen, I'm not hating on them. They have to do a newspaper kind of situation, and a lot of people, I'm not hating on them for doing videos. There's a lot of creators and channels that I like that do these James Gunn updates, and I understand that. I mean, you do what your audience is interested in. I did a good amount of them, up until a certain point. But at some point I just felt like, it feels to me like I'm just kind of treading water. Let me see if I can I'm trying to see if I can find this thing that I was saying.
Yeah, I was trying to dig into some of the other some of the other viewership tools like Samba TV to see what they had to say. They don't have second week numbers for Lanterns yet, so. And we won't get Nielsen. Nielsen is a trailing indicator because Nielsen takes almost a month usually to get their numbers out. And so yeah, we won't know until, in at least another couple of weeks how they measured the first episode of Lanterns and then the second one. So, yeah, this is saying Gunn and Safran's contract run out in 2027. Nobody's been fired. The contracts can simply expire. Warner Brothers can decline to renew them. Everybody moves on. The
Yeah, I mean,
Wrap's Wednesday Wrap Pro analysis looks at David Ellison's pledge to release 30 films a year under a merged Paramount Warner Brothers. Deep in the piece, Paramount insiders say the plan is to keep Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi, alongside other top creative executives like New Line's Richard Brenner and DC Studios' Gunn and Safran, who've said Ellison is pretty open to what they are doing. A few paragraphs later, the wrap asks another question. If Clayface and Man of Tomorrow both underperform, would Paramount have to retool DC, and would that cost the studio a major source of tentpole output? Paramount declined to comment. Per our insiders, both questions already have answers. 6 days ago, our insiders laid out how Warner Brothers' Exodus actually looks. Contract not renewed. Lots and lots of WB staff are in that position, including Gunn and Safran. That they all know it's over. The rest of the script. Most will be allowed to quit in a dignified manner. If they don't, the contract runs out and they're out. So technically not fired. But Bloomberg, Gunn, and Safran's, per Bloomberg, Gunn and Safran's DC Studios deals only run into spring of 2027. Just so you know, spring when that's measured and the
Okay.
stuff. Spring usually wraps in June. That's usually the end of the spring quarter. So, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wow you now, Professor. Well, not wow you, probably annoy you, but I'm gonna wow myself. I'm gonna wow myself. I'll show you. I made a video, and this is 6 months ago. Okay, let me see if I can see the date. I did this on February 27th, 2026, and I think after that, I don't even know how many like proper. If I did a Supergirl video, I talked about James Gunn and his status. If I did this Lanterns thing, I mentioned him, but I didn't sit around doing a bunch of videos, and I'll tell you why. I just want people to understand. Maybe people will appreciate at least some of what I do, or a little bit of. I don't want to say integrity. I don't know if I have integrity. That's a very strong word, but I'll show you what I mean. So I made this video. It was called James Gunn and DCU in Trouble After Warner Brothers Sale. Will Zack Snyder return? And then I did this thing. Are you ready? I'm just showing you this portion. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Pushing Netflix aside and taking over themselves, I would say that things just got even worse for James Gunn. Because in Netflix's case, even if their CEO didn't like James Gunn's work, he was at least more aligned with James Gunn's aggressive political messaging. In Paramount's case, I think Gunn has a double problem. First of all, purely on an entertainment level, I don't think David Ellison especially likes Gunn's vision for the DCU, something that Cosmic Book News were early to report on, so shout out and props for that. And secondly, I don't think that Ellison, who is known to have more right-leaning views, is a huge fan of Gunn's blunt messaging either. But while I know everybody wants me to say that Gunn will be fired tomorrow morning, I think that scenario doesn't seem very likely. For starters, even if, let's say, the Ellison family's friendship with the current US president could possibly be somewhat helpful to get the Paramount purchase cleared with regulators, these things don't typically happen overnight. Realistically, it could potentially take anywhere between 6 months to a year for Paramount and Ellison to even take over the reins creatively at Warner Brothers, and with James Gunn's contract running until 2027, it's not likely that they're going to terminate it before that, unless maybe Gunn himself does really wacky and unexpected things that they have to address. Otherwise, I think it's safe to say that Gunn will oversee the release of Supergirl, Lanterns, Clayface, and Man of Tomorrow, as he has always planned. With that being said, unless those movies unexpectedly generate billions of dollars in revenue for Paramount, it's hard to imagine that Gunn's DCU will continue beyond that. So the big question is, if not James Gunn, who will take over the role of the DC franchise boss? And while I'm sure there's a lot of people rooting for Zack Snyder's return to take over that role, and perhaps his odds now are better than they've been in the past decade, there's no guarantee that he will make a return, and even if he does, it could just be for one movie, perhaps to properly tie up his universe, especially if you consider that the DCEU cast of his movies isn't getting any younger. More realistically, there is a real possibility that David Ellison would ultimately let the DC franchise cool off for a minute and then perhaps reboot it at a later time. It's not an ideal situation for fans for sure, but at least it's possible. Yes, I know that Zack Snyder has a good relationship with the Saudi investors that contributed to the deal, but at the end of the day, the creative control lies in the hands of Ellison, so ultimately, he himself will have to decide what he wants to do. Personally, I've always maintained the same opinion of Snyder. There are certain aspects of his movies that I liked, like the cast and the visual style of them. I do hope that if he makes another movie, that there will be a well-written screenplay handed to him that he can work with, because I think that would really make a huge difference in terms of the overall quality. But with all that being said, for whatever it's worth, I do prefer Snyder over Gunn because Gunn's more cynical and quirky approach to the DC universe simply doesn't work for me. Regardless of anything, though, as I've been saying for a while now, if James Gunn's behavior has always seemed rather slippery and annoying over the past few years, I think Snyder has, if nothing else, proved to be quite the politician in recent months. On the one hand, he always speaks very highly of James Gunn publicly, like he did just today. On the other hand, Snyder has made every effort behind the scenes to rally his fan base and strengthen his own relationships with studios to create a potential path for his own return. Until now, I've said that I thought that the odds of Snyder returning were probably around 60%, but given the most recent developments, I would bump those odds up to 67%, which means that while there's certainly an improvement here, it's still not a sure thing. Also, even if, let's say, Snyder gets a movie approved, people may not even see it until 2029 or 2030, and so much could still happen till then. Aside from all of that, there was also a strange story that I considered reporting on, but to be honest, I wasn't sure if it was a hoax or not. There have been some screenshots circulating online, seemingly exposing James Gunn for having a burner account, which he uses to post compliments about James Gunn online. And while genuinely amuses me, and I wouldn't be shocked if it was true, I simply haven't been able to 100% verify it. What I really think is important now, especially when it comes to James Gunn, is the release of Supergirl, because if that movie doesn't perform significantly better than Superman at the worldwide box office, it could be another major blow to his DCU, and the worse it does, the worse it will be for Gunn. In any case, if you enjoy my honest takes and no nonsense type of reporting, and you want to stay updated with DCU developments while also. So, this is from February 27th to 2026, and I didn't do more videos. And tell me if anything has changed since then. Have I
Nope.
not basically laid down exactly every single thing I said here sums up all the, like, you can bring, like, all the stuff that's been talked about over the past, like, half year since then, pretty much is covered here.
Pretty much. Yeah, not much has really changed. I mean, we still have everything that's happening with Gunn over there at WB. We're still trying to figure out exactly what's going to be happening with his universe going forward, if that's necessarily just completely done with, or maybe he leaves and somebody else takes the reins. Maybe he leaves and Safran stays and they bring someone else in. Who knows? But
Putin, I want to answer because he said, is Price talking live now or is this a vid? Okay, what I was doing was I was showing that there's an article today that came out that's like has a big scoop saying what I said in my video half a year ago. And I was saying no disrespect, of course, to Cosmic Book News or anything. They've done a lot of great reporting, but I'm just saying that, I don't make 100 videos these days because I feel like half a year ago, I already saw all of this unfolding. So basically, a lot of what I said in that video felt very relevant to now. If you would have just removed the Supergirl part, like if I would have already known that it failed, it would have been a video that I could post it today and nobody will notice. Like I could just say, here's my video, I'll re-upload it, and everybody would have thought it was new.
sure enough, yep.
So hopefully I was doing a victory lap. I was basically patting myself on my own back to show that I am a man of integrity. That's what I was trying to do. Yes,
Yep.
Professor has to put up with this kind of stuff sometime. Sorry. Professor's like, oh no, he's putting up his old videos and now he's gonna pat himself on the back. So but the professor is a good sport. He
Yep.
actually he puts up with this, and I do appreciate it.
And for a good one.
What did ever?
His next price will go full Amazing Kreskin and predict that movies will have bad writing.
Price, pick my Powerball numbers. We out here. Okay. Next price. Yeah, that's good. Listen, and really, I'll make more maybe videos reporting. I just felt at some point you just feel like I'm just treading water because everything is in such limbo that that until this thing is cleared, until Ellison gets there, until doing all of that. First of all, James Gunn can comfortably just end his contract There's no point in firing him. A lot of times, if you fire somebody like James Gunn, you have to pay all these penalties and stuff. This way, you don't have to do anything. It's not a drama. It's not anything. His contract is over. You know, David Ellison can make a big announcement and say, "I want to personally thanks James Gunn. You know, he's so wonderful. He's done such an amazing job. I love his vision. He's so great." And I want to thank him for everything that he's done. And that's it. You could be very like generous and courteous, and the guy is out of there, and that's it. You don't have to do anything more. It's not a never-ending contract. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy seemed to have a never-ending contract, although I'm not sure why or how, but I will never know what happened with Kathleen Kennedy. You know, some people, and this is allegedly in speculation, and I don't know if it's true. I'm saying I don't know, and I want to make sure that people in the chat are not thinking such ideas because I have no way to prove them, and I want to be clear on that. But I wonder if there's some information that Kathleen Kennedy knew that was valuable to somebody, and that's why they couldn't remove her. I always wonder that because listen, with all of the feminism and all this stuff, I mean, at some point, you got to look at that like balance sheet and see that like billions and billions and billions of dollars have gone down the drain. At some point, you kind of say, "Hey, maybe we can part ways." And they
Mm-hmm.
didn't do that, Professor. So I wonder why.
Yep.
Now, some will say, "Well, she signed this kind of contract that's like forever and she can't leave." But I don't know of a company that's like that would be this. If Bob Iger really gave her such a contract, that would be the dumbest thing that anybody ever did, and that's on him. But it doesn't sound like there would be any company like a Disney, no matter what the politics are, what of the feminism or whatever it is, that they would just not not be able to get out of a contract. It just doesn't add up to me. She wasn't necessarily a proven entity. She was a
No,
proven
not at
entity.
all.
She was a proven entity as the fourth fiddle in a production that had the likes of Spielberg in it, but she was not like anything. She was not considered that kind of person that leads a studio creatively and like some kind of creative visionary. She didn't have any of that. So she was not, and to the best of my understanding, not in the position where she could do the swinging dick thing, where she's like, "Give me a contract that's like you can't terminate." Like it's forever and you just have to keep paying me and I'll never leave. That doesn't sound right to me. So the only other thing I can think of is there something that this lady knew allegedly that made her job secure. And I know some people in the chat must be thinking some terrible things right now, and I want to push back on that. I want to make it clear that like everything I'm saying is very innocent and above board.
It's all innocent. Trust us.
It's very innocent. I'm sure. Forget I even mentioned it, Professor. It's probably nothing.
Just forget all about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, kind of finishing up this article just real quick. Oh, go
okay,
ahead if you
sorry,
were
yeah, sorry,
good ones. Good
torpedoed
ones.
your
No,
article. Go ahead.
no, it's fine. So I was just gonna say, yeah. So basically, what was probably Matt McGloin, right? Wrote this, just talking about, basically what they're saying, like having reported some of this stuff, talked about it. Well, they've already started to show how probably Gunn and possibly also Safran are going to leave. They're gone. It's not that there's going to be some big dramatic firing. Contracts lapse and they just walk away, right? And they're showing like, look, this has happened. Channing Dungey mutually agreed not to renew the expiring contract. Katie Martin Kelly, who left WB with her contract was up, and a lot of people are saying that she was not renewed because, well, she got part of the blame for Supergirl being a catastrophic flop. So yeah, this is it. When things expire, you walk away, right? So it sounds like, yeah, that's very likely what's going to be going on with Gunn. And Yes, there's pretty reliable reporting has told us that uh, Gunn's contract, Safran's contract as well, end in spring, which means it probably ends up sometime in June. So it's possible that they get like a month of extension or something like that, so that they can see through, what's happening with Man of Tomorrow. Because they'll be doing reshoots at least through June before the movie comes out. But
One has to wonder, because what happened is that initially Nicholas Hoult was supposed to be in that Harry Potter show, and they announced him, and very quickly after they announced that he's going to be in that Harry Potter show, Kit Harington. They announced that Kit Harington is replacing him. Now, there's two reasons why it could happen, and either of those seem plausible to me. First of all, I didn't know this. I didn't even know this is a thing, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Apparently, the LG community was very big on Nicholas Hoult. They felt that he was an ally or something like that prior to this announcement. And then after they announced that he was part of it, there was a lot of backlash within these circles that they said, well, he was supposed to be an ally, but now he's associating himself with the project of J.K. Rowling. Now, honestly, I think that all that kind of stuff is stupid. I think that if you're an actor and you're offered to be in Harry Potter, you should just go for it. And I don't know. I mean, what did she even say? Like to this day, J.K. Rowling is actually like very much a left wing person.
oh, she's hardcore feminist, leftist, but she committed the unforgivable sin, which is she did not accept every last bit of orthodoxy presented to her.
Right.
She dared to say, even though all the left wing stuff that she said, all the left wing policies she's advocated for, she dared to say that men can't be women and that women should be allowed single sex spaces. So I mean, she committed the ultimate sin, which is very simply not signing on to every last little bit of orthodoxy on the left.
Emperor Goodwin says Nicholas Hoult will no longer be welcome in any gay bars across the country. Yep. One thing that may have happened is it's possible that he just freaked out that there was backlash, and he told them, "Hey, get me out of this deal," and they made some kind of excuse and got him out of it. That's one thing. The other thing is that, like you said, Professor, maybe some new reshoots came in for this Man of Tomorrow thing, and that contract supersedes any other contract. It became a conflict when they
Yep.
set up some dates, and they just said, listen, he won't be able to do the reshoots that we need here and your show, so he's out. It's a possibility. I simply don't know. I would be 50-50 on it. 50% that he bailed because of the backlash, 50% that it has something to do with maybe Man of Tomorrow. But the one thing I'll say is, which was weird to me, and this is something that I can share with my own industry experience and things that I've been involved in. Which again, not the biggest fish, but I've still been involved in some stuff and seen some things, and I've been in situations where contracts were discussed. So most of the time, and I was involved even in deals that had something to do with this. If there's another production and you want a person to add to another production, you don't make that announcement. You don't do the contracting until you thoroughly talk to the other production, meaning it becomes a situation that you have to have a conversation with all the other stuff. A lot of times producers of one program or movie will want to even get on a call with the other producer. You want to make sure that everything is above board. You don't want to start signing and doing stuff if you don't know. So sometimes producers talk to producers, sometimes it's done through managers, but people are making calls. It's not like he can just sign it and then it's like, oh shoot, like I didn't remember. Oh, I have all this like shooting here. It's not like some kind of haphazard thing. A lot of people are paying attention to this. Lawyers are involved. Phone calls are being made. Emails are being sent. Schedules are being forwarded from one place to another. So the bottom line is that for them to announce that he would be in their thing only for like a week later to them to say that he's not in their thing, highly irregular, because they would have done their homework. They would have done the communication. I was in a situation once where, like, again, it wasn't movies. It was, shows and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
more lower profile things, but the two productions had to talk to each other. So Nicholas Hoult bailing on that project is weird. I will say that.
Yeah. So here is August 11th.
Yep.
August 11th, Nicholas Hoult boards Harry Potter Season 2 as Gilderoy Lockhart. Superman actor takes on the role played by Kenneth Branagh in Chamber of Secrets film. Then, this week, August 24th, Kit Harington cast as Gilderoy Lockhart, replacing Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, so we're talking about this is like 2 weeks.
It's highly unlikely. I mean, okay, I've said it before, and I think even Emperor Goodwin, I'm in a chat with him, and maybe I said it there, or I said it to somebody. There's a 90% chance that there's something fishy going on, which is why he left the production, and a 10% chance that there was like genuinely an overlooked conflict of scheduling. That's about 10%. 90% that it's something else, because they would not have made that announcement on August 11 without thoroughly asking. This is not some. How do we see? You know how there's all these movies. Pedro Pascal was like in 20 movies in 1 year. You better believe that those productions talk to each other, because he has to go from one production to another. All of them at the end, I think that most of those movies didn't do too well, but that's a whole different story. You realize they had to talk to each other. Same with like if Zendaya is doing Superman, Spider-Man, and she's doing the Odyssey, and she's doing this and that. You think that Kevin Feige and Chris Nolan aren't going to have a conversation? They have to. And it's like it's a thing that happens. This happens. The producers talk to each other, or at minimum, the managers on behalf of the producers, the agents, whatever it is, or you open up a big email thread and you put everybody on it, and you say, "Well, we need this person for this. We need them for that. We need them for this. We need them for that." You don't just sign it. You don't sign it. This is too much money and too big studios to sign it. Now, I said this in that chat that I'm with Goodwin in with some people. If this would have been a situation that, let's say, they announced it and 3 months later they would say, listen, there's a scheduling conflict, I would say maybe there really is one. But 2 weeks afterwards, something else. He either read the script and thought it was shitty, he either didn't like the backlash that he was getting, or, some emergency happened with with Man of Tomorrow that he needs to like completely refilm his, entire thing or something like that. It has to be something big. It's not something minor. I insist on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is in the article here. It does say specifically, Hoult reportedly dropped out over scheduling issues with the actor currently filming Superman sequel tomorrow. Well, we know from several sources, including Gunn himself, including Nicholas Hoult, that filming finished 2 days ago. Or finished on the 25th, 26th. The filming finished. So, of course, the joke I made online was, only 10 months left to fit in all those reshoots, because we know there's going to be a lot of them. But there's definitely a good chance here that he was, hearing from some of his friends, how dare you go work on a J.K. Rowling thing. You're an awful person for doing that. Aren't you an ally to our friends or whatever? My children. She hates my children because, I have 9 children and all of them are, Transformers. So how dare you be part of part of Harry Potter?
I would say this, the 90% thing on 10 split I'm giving you, but I'm telling you that as of the reason, 50% he didn't like the backlash, 30% he read a screenplay and it was shitty. No, maybe 20%. 20% he read it and thought it was shitty. I would say that 30% that it was the LG backlash, and 30% that he has to refilm Man of Tomorrow. I do wonder if we'll ever find out the truth.
One day he'll say it's both.
Yeah, I mean, one day they'll say.
I had all these things.
I mean, listen. A lot of times there's stuff that's like obvious, and nobody wants to say it, and it's obvious. There was once this actor. I don't know why I always think of this. There was this actor, Michael Pitt, and Michael Pitt was in a show called Boardwalk Empire. It was Martin Scorsese that teamed up with Terrence Winter, and I think part of the production was Mark Wahlberg, and it was Prohibition or whatever it is in Atlantic City, whatever is going there with Steve Buscemi. I don't know if you remember that show. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
So basically, that show, the whole idea of the show was is that you had Steve Buscemi and you had a younger actor, played by Michael Pitt. I don't remember his character's name. Now, that character was supposed to be like the co-star of the show, and I think that the original blueprint for the show is how, like, Steve Buscemi's character, I think his name was Nucky, basically takes this younger guy under his wing, but at the end they become enemies, and that's supposed to
Hmm.
be some big thing at the end where it becomes like a showdown between the two of them. That's what it seemed like the show was going for. That seemed like what they were cooking, and you kind of felt that eventually it's going to go there, but they were going to build it really like in a great way where, like, there's alliances and politics and things like that. Now what happened was is suddenly on the season finale of the second season, spoiler, sorry if you haven't seen it. I apologize. You can close your ears. If you haven't watched it, it's like
I
already an
finished
old
the
show.
second season, so go ahead.
Okay. No, I'm telling the people that are listening, like, I'm sorry, I'm
I
gonna
know.
spoil this. So
I'm
so
joking.
so the second season ends, and basically in something that feels very, very, very rushed, Steve Buscemi's character just like shoots the Michael Pitt character in the face, and the show ends, and the season ends. And the next two seasons, I really felt like they were kind of scrambling. It wasn't awful. It still was a pretty quality show, but you could tell, in my opinion, that they were not planning that. They were not planning to do that, and they did that. They brought, a few different people. One of the people that they actually brought was before Daredevil. They brought Charlie Cox to play like an interesting role there. He was pretty good on that show, actually. In any case, they couldn't find something to replace Michael Pitt with, really, and it always felt like there was something off about it. Now, once it happened, I started like kind of googling and looking and trying to figure out and seeing if they fired him. And anytime you asked any of the producers, they said no. This was always our plan. It just reached a point where we thought that like his arc was like complete, and this was complete nonsense. It didn't feel complete at all. It felt like just out of the blue somebody shot him. So like I continued to look and look into it and look into it and whatever, and for years nobody said anything. But then over the years, it turns out his agency fired him because he does all this stuff, or I don't know if he does like he does allegedly. I don't know what he does. You know what I mean? But there's issues with him. Let's put it that way. Allegedly, so
Yes.
like, you have people that don't want to work with him and all this stuff. Like, that goes hand in hand with my thought that they were just sick of him. I don't know if he had what issues he had, if it was recreational activities, if he was kind of like that guy from Airwolf, if you know what I mean. Uh so I don't know exactly what it was.
Yeah, if I remember at the time, like they basically said, nah, we made this story decision. We didn't think it made sense to keep him around. He betrayed Nucky, and so we needed to get rid of the character because it wouldn't seem realistic to have him stick around. But uh, it was pretty heavily rumored at the time that he was very difficult to work with. That he was causing disruptions on set and causing shooting schedule issues and stuff. There was never anything, I don't remember anything specific to him, enjoying nose candy or anything like that. It was more just like he wasn't very professional on set, and it caused a lot
I
of disruptions and
I
stuff.
am not saying that he liked nose candy, but I've heard that perhaps maybe, and this is allegedly, and but here at Price of Reason Studios, we speculate on a lot of things. I want to say in advance that what I'm about to speculate on is incorrect. I'm wrong, and I take responsibility for I actually don't take responsibility for the information because I'm speculating, and what I'm saying is absolutely wrong. But I have heard that perhaps there were recreational activities, allegedly, which I'm sure there weren't, but that's what I heard, and it's
Yeah.
probably false.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I just remember at the time hearing there was some issues with conduct on
The
set,
conduct,
but yeah,
I think that the rumors of the conduct over the years got stronger. I also feel like there was more, more to it. There was once. Oh, I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it, Professor. I should
but you're
probably.
gonna. You're
Uh,
gonna.
so once, I told you that in the past, I also, did this professionally where sometimes somebody would need people to show up at events and things like that. So I think that it was sometime after his stint on Boardwalk Empire, but he's still kind of in people's, you know, in the public conscious or consciousness. I don't know what to explain. He's still kind of it was shortly after that whole situation. I think that some place that needed, sometimes you need some kind of celebrities. Maybe it's a corporate event. Maybe it's like a launch of a product or something like that. And I vaguely remember contacting his people and asking them if he would do it, but they were very weird. The whole thing was weird. I don't remember why I felt it was weird. They acted weird, and I could tell by their behavior that maybe he was weird. Maybe they were worried to send him to something like this. I can't really explain it to you, but I remember that something felt off.
Sure.
Like I don't know. Sometimes, like you have in the industry, you have situations where, especially you're talking to like these kind of management companies that are professional and like agencies or whatever it is. They're not going to say, "Listen, this guy does a lot of recreational activities," allegedly. Which I'm not saying that they said that, but they say other things that make you think that maybe there's something wrong, but you're not 100% sure. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, "Well, he is very eccentric. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that." And it's almost like, if I had to like, read between the lines, it seemed like, maybe I should look for somebody else.
Hmm.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Of course. Yeah.
Now everybody can do a shot because I asked you. Uh, I'll give you an example. Once there was somebody, I want to say an actress, and I had worked with her people to book her for some event, and she had a boyfriend who, was known but lesser known than her, I guess. And she was with him, and I guess he was going to go with her to some event. And it's one of those situations that I was involved in brokering something, and her manager said, I'll never forget this because I started learning this way how this kind of double speak works. Uh, I said, "Oh, she's going there and she's bringing this person with her," and then I said, "How's this person?" So the manager, it was a lady of this actress. She says to me, "Oh, her boyfriend. We love her boyfriend," and she said it like that. I'm like, "Oh, he's great. He's yes, like yes, we love him." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Do you understand what I'm trying to like?" She's like, "I'm like you. Do you understand me?" Um, we love her boyfriend, and the third, fourth time, I understand they hate the guy. You know what I mean? It's more of like a warning of beware. There may be some weird crap that happens there, but they didn't say that. If anybody ever gets them on the record, they said they loved him, but this really happened to me. They said like, "We love him. We love him." And I'm like, it doesn't sound like you I'm like innocent. I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm like, it doesn't sound like you love him at all. So they're like, no, we love him. Don't you understand? I'm like, okay, okay, I think I get it.
I think I get it.
So yeah, so I feel like that was the situation I had when I called for him. And that got me thinking that if nothing else, he may be difficult. Whether or not there's other recreational stuff, I don't know. Speculation. And again, allegedly speculation, and I'm probably wrong. And I don't take responsibility. How did we get here? How did we get here,
I
Professor?
I don't know.
In
I
any case,
Yeah. So yeah, we kind of gone over some of this gun stuff that's been going on, whether he's going to be leaving or not. What else did we have on the list here? Star Trek. We also have the sad discussion of after having lost Dolly Parton this week, we also on Wednesday lost Tim Curry, and then today we lost Optimus Prime.
that's the word. I mean, all of
Oh,
them were bad.
Peter
All of them were
Cullen,
bad.
man. I never had the opportunity to meet Peter Cullen,
I didn't either, and I'm
but
sorry I didn't.
I know, several people who did got to meet him at conventions. One of my friends got to meet him at a convention. Said he was the most genuinely cool, kind, just wonderful guy.
He seemed
And
very nice.
every testimony that I've heard, everything I've heard about him from people who were in the business said he was just this genuinely awesome guy. And man, Oh, yeah. I mean, what a huge part of my childhood, man. Um, uh, Transformers, Peter Cullen. I've been looking forward to getting to catch. They're going to be doing a revival showing of the Transformers. The movie. They're going to be doing that here shortly, and I've been looking forward to go see that. And I'm like, oh man, Peter Cullen, because it's kind of hilarious because I think we've talked about it before, Price, but the re-release that they're doing is they're calling it the apology tour for traumatizing everyone during their childhood by killing off Optimus Prime in the
Right,
movie.
but they're still showing the same movie that he dies in, so
Yes,
how is
I
that
know.
an
I know.
apology tour?
Supposedly there's new footage added at the end that like shows Optimus being revived or something. I don't know,
Are
but
you serious?
yes, yeah.
Man, I have to see it then.
Yeah.
When is this coming out? I'm gonna go watch
Oh,
it
the
now.
apology. It's in October, I think.
I gotta see it.
Let's see.
Uh, Robot Head says, was Price about to say that Optimus Prime dude was the worst one? No, he's not the worst one.
So you're returning to theaters September 17th through 21st. So it is a Fathom event, so it's not going to be in all theaters. I haven't checked to see yet if they've offered tickets for my local theater yet, because they're kind of screwy about when they do Fathom stuff and when they don't. Um,
Robot Head, so great to see you here. I sent you a
hey,
DM.
Robot Head.
He's gonna see it in 2 weeks from now.
We also, if you didn't see, we did get a brief visit from our buddy Sean Crummell.
Oh
Said
wow.
that he could not stick around, had to get up early tomorrow, but wanted to say hi. And he said, sad to hear about Tim, Dolly, and Peter. Hope you and the chat are all doing great. Good night.
Sean's a great guy. I wish we saw more of him, but it is what it is.
Yep.
He works evenings, and I respect that.
Let's see.
I understand it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. My theater is doing a showing. Oh, just one showing? Oh.
Wait, hold on one second. I see
have to
that.
see.
I think that Mikey. We got some super chats, or at least one.
Did we?
Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah, I see it now. Yep, I didn't see it earlier.
I think it's from recently because one is from Mexican Iron Man about Michael Pitt.
Yep.
Okay, let me see. Fairness. Oh, there's two
Oh,
of them.
no.
One from Jason Webster and one from Mexican Iron Man. So I'm going to be reading them both. Tell some jokes. I have to do the thing. Wait a
Yep.
second. Okay, we got it. Breaking news: extraterrestrials sue Alex Kurtzman over Starfleet Academy and Strange New Worlds. I don't have an issue with that. I hope they do sue him. And that's for $5. Thank you, Jason Webster. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Jason Webster.
Then we have $10 for Mexican Iron Man, who I'm always thrilled when he's here. He always says, "Oh yeah, you don't not happy that I'm very happy that you're here. It's such a rare occasion, so I'm happy to see him." Man, Price talking about Michael Pitt being difficult is like what must he what he must have said about me on Midnight's Edge. No, you're not difficult, Mikey. I never thought you were difficult. I get along with you very well. If anything, I regret that we haven't done more streams. That I remember that once I had something and I just quickly, like from 1 minute to the next, I sent him a DM and he's like, I want to try to do some video. I don't know what I wanted to do. I was doing some live thing and I just sent in from 1 minute to the next. He arrived and we had this really funny stream. And I don't stream enough with Mikey, but he's kind of, taken the YouTube thing, kind of taken a back seat for him. He was never a official YouTuber, but always great to see him
Not
on
a
a stream.
YouTuber. Not a
Not a
YouTuber, as
YouTuber.
he would often remind us.
Not a YouTuber.
Not a YouTuber.
But one of the most popular not a YouTubers ever,
Not a
though.
YouTubers.
And yeah, I can understand why. It's also strange. I'll tell you what. Mikey is a guy that I didn't understand him at first. Initially, when I before ever streaming with him, I'd see him on a few streams here and there. I said, "Man, this guy is kind of wacky." and I didn't fully get it. And then I think he was on a few streams with me, and then I'm like, okay, I get it. I really like him. Like I don't know. It's like there's two phases. Either you don't understand him, or then you're like, okay, I get it, and you really like him. And it's a strange process to go through. But I didn't dislike him when I thought he was wacky, but I didn't get him. That's what I'll say. And once you do, then like you really like him.
Hmm.
That's my analysis. I bet he's running away now. He's like, "Fuck that guy." Fuck that guy. Like, he's never gonna be
No.
here again. But yeah, no,
We
that's what I have to say.
Yeah, we got another super chat to add on to this as well. So we should probably cover that one
Okay, let me see where it
before we
is.
move on.
Uh, okay, let's see. I'm gonna
From Piggy in a onesie.
yep, share this one. Where is it? Uh,
Although the green member handle on top of the orange background is really hurting my eyes.
uh, Piggy in a onesie for 19.99. Thank you so much, and thank you $10 for the Mexican Iron Man thing. Uh, and it says, "Hey guys, I made it. Sorry I was late." And yeah, no, it's cool, man. Well, first of all, we appreciate the super chat, but even if you're late, we don't penalize people for being late here. You know, just them showing up at all is a bonus for us. So we're always grateful, and we're grateful that you're here, and grateful for your super chat. Grateful for Mikey's and for Jason Webster. So thank you to all three of you. And yeah, NM asked me before, asked me if I used to be an agent or a manager and something like that. And yes, I was something like that. I was also there were different years that I did different things, but there was also a time where I was sort of if people had an event, different types of event, could be corporate, could be private event, could be different types. Sometimes has to do with even with maybe products or things like that. A lot of different things. And they wanted, let's say, somebody to perform at their event, or they needed certain quote unquote celebrities to be there to do an appearance, because there's this whole setup where you have like press. Later, when you go and you read like these kind of page six, and they're like, "Oh, this guy was at this event supporting this thing." A lot of times, this is stuff that like it's set up. It's not that Kim Kardashian or something just showed up to support some store. She supported it because somebody paid her money. If you so basically, I was sort of I'm not saying there aren't other people like me, but sort of part of my I don't want to use the word expertise because that's a very strong word here, but I would be good at helping set up these type of deals, uh, and I did that kind of business. That's how I also interacted. It put me in a situation that I'd be either at events with those celebrities or things like that, and sometimes even later there were times that I would get invited to stuff because I'm already quote unquote like in the mix, until, as I explained to the professor, at some point I feel like they fixed the glitch, and then I think that I wasn't really invited anymore for whatever reasons.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure why I stopped getting the invites. I assume that there's probably somebody that I said something to. It would make sense that that would happen. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
was my answer. And
Hmm.
yeah, and over the years there were a few other things that I did. There was some stuff that I also got more involved in representing artists in certain deals and things like that. That's how I know some of the stuff with the contracts, and even uh, stuff that has to do with some studios. I will say this. I wasn't like the type of person though that like, I'm like, booking like Leonardo DiCaprio all day or stuff like that. I'm not like, I wasn't like some guy that it's like at the top of the pyramid. I always say that because I want to temper expectations here. It's fine for whatever I did, but I wasn't like the big I wasn't the big boss of Hollywood. It would be odd if I was the big boss of Hollywood, because what would I be doing here every Tuesday, Tuesday and Thursday, uh, as an orange puppet talking to a robot professor? Although that would be like quite a double identity if I'm like the king of Hollywood and the co-host of the Night Owl.
Yep.
uh, so yeah, that was it. I answered the questions. I think this. Oh, this is the apology tour. I love it. Tell me what's different though. What's different about this?
So the trailers and stuff for it are hilarious. Talking about, like, sorry we traumatized you when you were a kid, but we're gonna be somewhere. It's basically they've restored the movie in 4K and everything, but they've supposedly they've also added some bits at the end. This is the official trailer for it. You'll see. I mean, yeah. The animation still looks great.
Here for a purpose.
But yeah, here at they talk about
to a new age.
oh ooh yeah. So there's some extra stuff that's been added.
I have to go see
Uh,
that now. Like now, I
well,
have to go see it.
I really want to go see it. It's not one.
I'm
Unfortunately,
in.
since it's a Fathom event, it's not one you can see with a pass or anything. But I decided to drop my pass. There's just not that much coming out over the next few months that I'm going to be able to see. So I would be paying full price anyway. So
Oh, it's not free. I
but
would
no,
pay for it. I would pay
September
for it.
17th through 19th is when it's showing in various areas. It does look like it's coming to my local theater, so I'm glad about that. I will try to go see it. There's some others recently, some other events that have not been coming to my theater that pissed me off. Did you know they're doing revival showings of Star Trek? Like
Oh,
all the
I
Star Trek
put
films?
that's why I put it in our thumbnail, because they're showing Star Trek. Because I was
Yeah.
reading an article and they're like, oh, it's the 60th anniversary or whatever it is. Like we got to do something. They're gonna show like Star Trek the movie in theaters, and it's like I'm happy to see that, but the truth is that, man, it doesn't. It feels like there's a bittersweet thing going on. Of course, I'm happy to see some original classic Star Trek on a big screen, but that doesn't change the fact that they've taken this franchise and run it into the ground. So I can't, there's nothing current that Star Trek has going on now that you could be proud of on the 60th anniversary. In fact, everything that's gone on for maybe the past 10 years since the 50th anniversary is a complete embarrassment. Maybe even more than that, maybe 20 years.
Yeah, they're doing so yeah, like you said, they are doing some revival showings. It starts on the September 4th, I think, is when they're starting. But yeah, each night they're going to be showing pairing a classic episode of the show with one of the films. So they're pairing the Changeling, which is the Nomad episode, with Star Trek the Motion Picture, which is kind of hilarious since many people for decades have been accusing they've literally, it's referred to as Star Trek where Nomad has gone before, because the whole plot of the movie is very similar to that original episode. But so pairing those two together is a little self-referential, I guess, and kind of an inside joke. Of course, they're going to pair Star Trek 2 with the episode with Khan in it
Well,
from
that
the
makes
original
sense.
series, Space Seed. They're going to pair Star Trek 3 with the episode Amok Time. That's the one where Kirk fights Spock when he's in Ponfar. They're going to pair for some reason, or no, they're not pairing it with anything. I guess no, it is paired. Yeah, sorry. They're pairing Star Trek 4 with the classic episode City on the Edge of Forever, which by many people they consider that to be the best, if not one of the best episodes of the original series. Interestingly enough, they're not continuing the revival showings past Star Trek 4, which does piss me off a little bit because, yes, although 5 is definitely a rough experience, 6 is an excellent movie. And I would love to get to see that one, although unfortunately it doesn't seem like they're going to be showing any of these in my local theater, which does kind of irritate me. I'd love to go see at least one or two of them. They will be doing the Star Trek the Motion Picture. They're going to be doing the new director's edition, the 4K director's edition that was released a couple of years ago, which is stellar. It's fantastic.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It is absolutely excellent. You need to check that out. They did a direct. You'll remember they actually did a director's edition that was straight to DVD. They did that back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Maybe that's what I saw. I don't think I saw what you're talking about.
So when they made that director's edition, they fixed some little issues in the movie. Like, for instance, when you're on Vulcan in the original cut of the motion picture, there are moons in the sky, and it was described in the original series Vulcan doesn't have any moons, right? And so there were little mess ups like that. There were other places where the movie was so rushed they weren't able to quite finish the special effects. Things just didn't look as good as they should. And so, and then there were also a bunch of different cuts of the movie. Some of them included this scene, some of them didn't, some of them swapped this scene for a different one. And so when they made the director's edition, they actually went back, with the original director, they went back and they redid special effects and stuff, but they did that for DVD and they mastered all of the special effects for DVD. So there was no way for them to actually just like take that and make it HD. Right? There was no Blu-ray edition of the director's cut. So when they started doing the 4K stuff, it was picked up by Paramount Plus, and they threw some money behind it and said, we're going to take that director's edition, we're going to recreate that shot for shot, but we're going to have to redo all the special effects in 4K. And so they redid everything, and the remastering of it and the redone special effects all look great. And it's a really solid cut of the movie. It doesn't include everything that was in sort of the longest cuts. It also doesn't cut it as tightly as some of the other versions that had been shown, where sometimes the story maybe feels jumpy or doesn't make sense. And so I really do think it's one of the best versions of that film. And like I said, looks absolutely amazing. They did not spare any expense. It's clear there was a lot of love for this film that went into them making the 4K director's edition.
When did they release the 4K one?
2023, 2024.
Then I didn't see it. Because the last time I watched Star Trek the Motion Picture, I think that was maybe like 2021 or something like that. So if they released something afterwards, I didn't see it. I really
2022. 2022.
Still, it was after I watched. It was right after I probably watched it. So that's why I wasn't in a hurry. Like, it's all right. It's okay. The motion picture. I don't hate it. I used to have it on a VHS growing up, and I did like it. But I sure would like to see a new version of it if they did that. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Like
it is a really
4K.
the 4K director's edition. They put, like I said, 2000.
How about the effects? Did they redo? What did they?
Yes, yeah. So that was, as I was saying, like, so when they did the director's edition for DVD, they redid a lot of the effects, but they mastered them in 480p, right? So there was no way for them to actually improve that and bring it up into HD or anything. So when they did this 4K version of the director's edition, they redid all of the effects. And they did a stellar job with them. Somebody mentioned this. Putin says, "I don't like director Star Trek V'ger. Looks kind of odd." Either you're talking about the V'ger actually seeing the whole ship, because there's one of the shots that they originally wanted to do but couldn't quite get done for the film. The director wanted a shot where we could actually see what V'ger looked like without the cloud surrounding it. And so there is a shot that's in there that shows V'ger without the cloud, the actual ship, right? The big ship. And it does look weird. It's a bizarre design to see all at once. But yeah, it was, I suppose I can understand how that wouldn't work. But Mark D with a C says, "Hello everyone. TMP remastered in 4K is a triple plus. Yes, it is. It's fantastic. The director's edition of Wrath of Khan is more of a mixed bag. They did do a great job, mastering it in 4K, but they didn't do as much to clean it up as they did with the motion picture, and they made some cuts that chose some alternate shots that I don't like as much as the original theatrical cut of Star Trek 2. So it's that one is a mixed bag for me, the director's cut for Wrath of Khan. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'll get to see any of those in the theater here. But
I'd want to watch the Wrath of
right.
Khan, and actually watching the TOS episode before the Wrath of Khan. Great, that would be great. I'd totally do that. That's the one that works out the best to actually show both of them in the same.
Yeah, you show those together. Yeah, you get to see the original episode of TOS Space Seed with Khan, his origin, and then right after that, you get to see the film itself. They are supposed to be doing price, I think, on the last day, 9th or something. I have to look again, since it's not at my theater. I can't find it, but I believe they're going to do on the last day or the day after it. There's a marathon where they're going to do all the films in the same day, all 4 films with the episodes that they're paired with, all in the same day. So that would be a long day, but man, would that be a lot of fun.
I think it's too much. Like, it's fun, but it's too much. That's I don't know. I'll go see one of those. If it was at least just the 4 movies, but the episodes and the movies, that's a long time to be in the theater. I'm not opposed to it. You know what? I'll think about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some breaks in between, right, for you to hit the restroom. Yeah. They have some interesting. AMC has some interesting stuff as well. Merch for this showing. I'm sure Mark D with a C is going to have to go get one. Yeah, he's already talking about it. This Trek 60 popcorn bucket. Yeah. So let me see if I can share it real quick. So yeah, here's some of the merch. Kind of hard to see behind us there, but there's this special popcorn tin that has the original Enterprise, the TV show Enterprise with the big 60 on it, and it's a big popcorn. They have a couple of other popcorn buckets here, and then you have cups with mystery toppers, so you can get the original Enterprise, the Excelsior, the Refit Enterprise, or the Reliant. So yeah. This is one of those things that's like, man, I almost just want to go to my theater and see if, even though our AMC isn't showing these, if maybe they have some, or maybe AMC is going to sell them online or something, and I can pick them up that way. Because, yeah, being a big Star Trek fan, it would be fun to have some of those things. But
it would. And speaking of fans, if you're watching this stream and you haven't yet subscribed, if you're on Rumble and you're watching on the app, you should sign up. It's free. And then you can follow us and you'll know when we're streaming. If you're watching on YouTube and maybe you came here from a different social media platform or another channel, make sure you're subscribed to this channel that you're watching now, because it's, as James Gunn says, it's very, very important. Finally, I was able to quote him.
Important.
It's very important.
Looking at the AMC here makes me think. Are you going to be going and checking out the Coyote versus Acme film?
I actually do want to check it out. I think maybe this weekend, if I get a chance, I'd want to check that out. There was maybe something else. What other movies are coming out I had a chance.
Dog Stars is another one I keep seeing promoted.
That's a
but I
Ridley
don't.
Scott one, and
Is
man, it
that?
didn't look good.
Yeah,
It
it
didn't
doesn't
look
look
good.
good to me. Did not look good. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I thought, huh? Like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand like what they were going for. But yeah. What else? Is there anything else coming this weekend? It doesn't seem like there's much. Yeah, Coyote versus Acme, another Insidious film. I think that already came out though, didn't it? That got released this last week. So yeah, I think Coyote versus Acme and Dog Stars are the two big ones that are out this weekend.
I see.
Uh,
I may or may not have sent you something now, Professor.
oh, yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
1 second. I'm about to tell some jokes.
Emperor Goodwood says, "Do you like Walking Dead?" Well, neither does Ridley Scott, but he still made this movie anyway.
I think he should retire.
He really should. Yeah.
So
Yeah, he really should. The Star Trek re-releases, of course, we are expecting a new Star Trek film though. They've talked about this over the last few weeks that it does appear that our old friend Kurtzman, Alex Kurtzman, is out. Maybe not yet. He maybe has not been removed from the building, but that he is no longer involved in the development of any new Star Trek.
I think that was pretty clear.
Yeah.
That you know.
Yes, I think it was clear too. But they have had some discussions. So it's been a few weeks now. So they have been talking. Basically that they've got some new people with new idea, with new visions. Now, I don't know about you and what you think about Star Trek as a film property. Personally, I don't think Star Trek is a natural fit for films. I think it worked well with the original crew because we had time to get to know that crew, right? We had the series, which introduced us to the characters, did all that tough work for the character work, and then we got to see them in those adventures in the Star Trek films. And it was also in the 80s. It was in a time where it was okay for movies to be a little slower, right? It was at a time when it was okay for those films to be, a little more cerebral, a little more thoughtful, and they don't have to be action-packed explosions and stuff every single minute. Those films worked fine for that. And I will, say again, I was introduced to Star Trek through the films. That's how I got to, first experience Star Trek. Got to see Star Trek 3 with my father, got to see Star Trek 4, started finding interest in it, and I got to go back and look at the earlier movies once those things started coming out on video. I got to watch some of the earlier films, and then watch through the rest of them in the theaters when they were released. So that was where I originally experienced Star Trek, but that got me interested to go back and watch the original series and watch the animated series and start watching TNG when that came out. So that was where I got my start. I'm not saying that Star Trek can't work as a film. I'm saying that the idea here of starting a new property, starting with a new crew and a new time and a new ship and everything, starting out as a film, I don't know.
I don't know either. By the way, it's the Phobos one. I don't know. He's usually next to his DMs, but I think he's not looking.
You'll see it shortly. Mexican Iron Man had another super chat for us.
Oh, which reminds me, Not that I think he's going to join us, but I'm sending Mikey one out also. Okay.
Here, I will. I can share
do
it.
the super chat.
I can share the super chat real quick. Give me a second. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Hiding from me, Price. There it is. All right. Mexican Iron Man for $5. Price stopped getting invited once the Hollywood people and fancy events, once the Hollywood people and fancy events because they saw him stream with Mexican Iron Man.
That is a possibility. Oh, well. That is a possibility. Let's put it this way. If they did see me stream with Mexican Iron Man, I think that would have been a contributing factor. I don't know for sure if they saw it or not, but it certainly could have moved the needle for sure. And Mikey, yep. I sent you a DM on Twitter. You're welcome to go in there and check it. So,
sure enough. Mark said he's having OBS issues. He'll be with us in a minute. So,
well, it's the Phobos is here.
I was watching porn. Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, glad to know you were spanking it just now. We're all happy to know that across the internet.
My my mouse.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Not porn related. My mouse just it's really messy under the desk. So it's okay.
I don't know. I don't want to know why it's messy under the desk.
Oh, cables. 500 cables.
And
87 daisy chain power strips.
Yeah, ropes. I hear you. Yeah, ropes. I got it.
Yeah, if anybody from housing or electrical safety inspector ever saw that, they would shut off the power.
Mexican Iron Man has taken us to bed with him.
Oh, okay. Well,
yes, he says he's listening from the bed, but maybe he'll be able to join us soon. So that sounds great. We would love to have you, Mike. Anytime.
That would be great, man.
I don't want to hear that either. So, Price, I did.
Hey, Vex takes us to bed sometimes.
I'm okay with that. Have you seen that? I did get one solid number, which was for the full week of the Lanterns premiere, it was solidly behind Reacher.
Yep.
According to Samba TV, and Penguin was number one spot 6 weeks in a row. So it's already not doing as well as Penguin.
I'm not surprised. As I had said, earlier this week, I would assume there were a lot of people who tuned in for that first episode of Green Lantern. Excuse me, not Green Lantern, Lanterns. Tuned in for that first episode because they wanted to find out if the rumors were real and they really were going to whack Hal Jordan in the first episode. And they did, and people thought, never mind.
Yeah, Samba TV's absolute numbers aren't reliable because they don't get everybody, but the conversion factor, their relative numbers are rock solid.
Their relative numbers are good.
So, you find the multiplication factor like 4.7, and that gives you total number of viewers that's accurate every time. So, Hey, Mike, by the way, sorry we didn't get a chance to hang out. I know you got accounting shit to
One
do.
of these days.
Yeah.
Bang.
How's that Disney stock doing, Mexican Iron Man, by the way?
Wait, we have a good one here. You have to unmute your microphone. That's on you to do.
I hear it's been really steady for 15 years. That's good, right?
And Emperor Goodwin, if you don't have OBS, I can add you to the graphic.
Yeah, you can do it that way because I don't have a virtual camera.
Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna handle it.
And we don't really want to see you on camera.
No,
not really. I don't want to see me either. There's a reason I put black drapes over all of my mirrors.
Okay. I got it.
It's not to stop the Candyman from popping out of
No. It's the Candyman actually requested that I put it on there so that I wouldn't pop into his.
Oh man, yeah. Oh gosh, guys, so
Candyman.
many. Is it gonna stop? Is the rule of three gonna stop the loss of these of icons this week?
No, because we're already at 5, really.
Well, true.
We're on to the next set of 3. listen, and we have a lot of people that, that's the problem with the getting old. And like I said, the big problem is we don't have anybody replacing these guys. That's really
No, there's nobody. Some really big talent left, and there's nobody to fill those kind of shoes. We don't have like a Dolly Parton type of person. We don't have somebody like with the talent of Tim Curry from these new actors. Or most of them. I'm not saying maybe once in a while, but who do you have of these newer actors? What, Timothy Chalamet? Like what's considered like the good actor today? Nothing. Most of them suck.
Gary Oldman. Jay, I wanted to tell you that Candyman's what we used to call my Coke dealer, but if you owed him money, curtains weren't going to stop him. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If you said his name 3 times, though, he did show up. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, you didn't take 3 times.
Yeah, Price, I was actually thinking about that, though. We have a few. Gary Oldman is way up there top. We have Bryan Cranston.
But they're already older.
Yeah. Amongst the young people, like Chalamet strikes me as a little bit desperate and a little bit try hard. Like I don't see him as sort of a natural, effortless talent. And I'm not talking about in the chewing scenery kind of way. He just, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It feels like he wants it so bad that you can feel that in his performance.
He's got theater kid energy.
Yes, theater kid energy. Excellent. I was going to say, theater kid, and oh boy, is he made up of like 60% soy? Like,
yeah, and we had the other guy, but he's persona non grata, Kevin Spacey. I don't even know if he's allowed to count anymore. He's phenomenal, though.
Yeah, but again, those are all like older, like my generation or older. That's
but they'll still
past their sell by date.
Yeah, but they'll still be around for a little bit. But I'm saying of the generation that you would consider young, we don't really have anybody.
No, that's kind of the point. That's why why when I was watching The Odyssey and I was like, is there a grown ass man anywhere in this movie?
No, we.
Oh, they had one. They actually tried to make him smaller. They made him collapse his shoulders and all that. Right, the guy that played Opie in Sons of Anarchy. He was Mentor.
Oh,
yep, Mentor.
He's older too. See, we've replaced talent with charisma. There's some guys with charisma, I'll give them that, but they don't have the talent to go with it.
I'm not even sure there's that.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's some that
you have some that have social media followings.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, the one thing I would look at is we need to do something about no longer having gay men be casting directors.
We don't need to have gay men doing anything that involves women either. Stop telling us what
because they give us the same thing. It's like barely pubescent teen boy.
Yeah I'm tired of the standard of female beauty being dictated by, I was gonna say a word,
careful.
No, I'm not gonna hurt you, I get it. Just gonna say sassy men.
Yes, I understand.
Is this the gayest cast for a film ever?
Yeah. Women will accept their judgment, but they don't agree with it either. They just think it's better to listen to the hairdresser than what their own instincts are telling them.
Yeah.
Because, women, Sydney Sweeney, she knows what hot is. She knows what sexy is, but.
Well, that's because she's like at the apex, the top. I mean, like women that are confident that they're the hottest one in the room. They don't have to listen to other women. The rest of them do listen to other women, not realizing that they're actually those other women are trying to tear them down. Yes.
Yeah. Like, so I just watched A Have and Have Not again because it's such a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
God, Lauren Bacall is like sex on heels.
Yep.
My God, like even Sweeney doesn't have the sex appeal that she does because she doesn't have that. Whatever they used to teach women how to be women.
The mystery was always the biggest thing. I mean, the look at like the great noir actresses, and they could tell you a whole lot without saying a word.
Yeah. Veronica Lake, Ingrid Bergman, Grace Kelly, any Hitchcock leading lady, basically. Like,
she could finish a man with just her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Finish a
man.
I
mean, watch Casablanca, and the way that she is just constantly like looking at Rick. I mean, all over Rick. That's the kind of thing that just locks you in where you're like, holy shit, she's really taken with him and and is in love.
Uh,
Now you're lucky to get, a scowl out of Zendaya.
yeah. I'm
Most
going
of
to say something that's going to get me in trouble.
Will it get Price in trouble?
No.
Okay.
It'll. I watched something that I didn't think I'd watch, but I'm not always in charge over here. I like to occasionally get laid, at least. So I watched A Star Is Born, and you know what? Barbara Streisand is really talented. It's a shame she's such a bitch because she's not the greatest looking person, but she's got mojo, man. She was an amazing singer. She could act, and you're talking about looking at your guy like Ilsa looked at Rick. That's her looking at Chris Christopherson, man. That movie has something that modern movies don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Acting?
Yeah, I'll say, but Streisand, no, she's really is amazing. It's a shame.
No, I know. I've seen her in plenty of things, but I was thinking the thing that she has that others don't, acting.
Yeah. Well, she's got that Mary Steenburgen thing going on. She shouldn't be that hot, but she still is. I can't figure it out.
If you're a nose man.
Yeah.
She is the Sydney Sweeney of noses.
Mary Steenburgen has it more though. Like
no, she doesn't. No, she does not.
No, but I'll tell you why. I think that Streisand has like a weird shape, whereas Steenburgen, it's like she has a little bit, but it's like within the more reasonable setup.
No, I'm saying she has a more attractiveness. I'm still a little puzzled. Like she shouldn't be that alluring, but damn, she is.
Yeah, Streisand looks like a terror bird from a million years ago in South America.
If you get the right angle.
From behind?
She was going to get a nose job, but the doctor said it would just change her singing voice, and she made the right call. She did.
Well, also, I mean, it would take a team of surgeons to do a nose job. I mean, it would involve half of her face.
She's the Adrian Brody of Streisands.
Well, she's woo.
Yeah. Listen, a strong nose can be. I'm just saying, man. She had a lot of talent. She made it work for her. Unfortunately, the personality didn't seem to even come close to matching. So, but Aretha Franklin was like that. I heard she's insufferable to deal with or be around.
Well, she had a lot of problems with her husband and all that.
Yep. But
you're saying Aretha Franklin was insufferable?
Aretha became she was very difficult to be around because she's very self-conscious and she has self-esteem issues.
Yeah, she's a very diva. Like not as bad as like Celine Dion or Mariah Carey, but she
was a fantastic singer. I have to give her that.
Oh, one of the best ever. I mean, dude, she's phenomenal. She is the queen of soul, but you wouldn't want to have been like her assistant, or apparently even her friend. I don't know. But as we lose these people, there's no one moving up in the world to replace them.
I mean, there probably are. It's just not in the mass, mainstream
awareness.
Culture. Because we don't really have a mainstream culture anymore.
Yeah,
what you're seeing is the death of the idea of the uniculture.
Yeah, we don't have water cooler culture anymore, and the distribution networks have been sort of diluted and moved around. And
right, that's why you don't have a monoculture.
Yeah, there's got to be like a Led Zeppelin out there on Bandcamp that just nobody's ever heard of yet,
or they're a local band or something.
Yeah. Now there are some really good local bands around here, but I'm not. I don't really go hit the clubs every night looking for them either. So
yeah,
you can only try out so many new bands every day on Bandcamp until you give up. So we need a filter that gets rid of 99% of the chaff, and we certainly don't have the YouTube algorithm. Doesn't really do that anymore. And
well, the problem is that I mean, what you had as kind of the filter for that was also very selective in what it was choosing. You just didn't run into the things that didn't choose. But I mean, you know, if you knew something about like the punkabilly bands that came out of Southern California in the 80s and 90s, those should have been big, but they weren't because they just didn't hit the MTV requirements that that all of the the tastemakers had alighted upon. And that's true for movies as well. I mean, I've been spending every Tuesday on Blue Collar Losers channel covering movies from the 80s that I know about that are actually fantastic, but they were never big pop culture hits. And Blue, who grew up in the 80s, is like, what the hell? I've never heard of this. And he would ask his mom, who also was alive during that time. She's like, no, I haven't heard of that either. And I was like, I don't know how. But I can understand because I read it. I know like people that I knew, we're essentially going to the same movies and all that, but I'm just kind of sampling outside of a certain area because thank God for video and late night TV. But I would see stuff that they never saw and never had any interest in seeing.
Yeah, at least those got made though. Now we it's even more spread out. So
yeah, and that's why I think that independent stuff is and I mean not going anywhere near a theater, stuff for YouTube or other video platforms. That's where you'll have the new independent and smaller movies.
Yeah. Occasionally you would get a band that would break through in spite of not being accepted by, but looking at the state of the industry now, I kind of think maybe it did a better job as a filter than I thought so at the time, even just because there is so much crap out there. Like we're not talking hundreds we're talking millions of fucking bands that are diluting the pool of finding, the handful of ones worth listening to.
But I mean, that's why they existed. But the thing is that that's the choice you make. You're outsourcing your filtering to someone. Do you trust them? Well, you trusted them when you didn't realize what they were filtering.
Yeah.
But now that you see the deluge, you're like, all right, look, I'll take anybody to filter it. I don't care. Right.
And hey, hello everyone. And I can't believe I missed the Barbara Streisand talk. Can we get back to that?
Yeah, we can. Why don't you just butt your nose right into that Streisand talk? It'll be great.
Well, she is supremely talented. We just won't mention her politics, but
or her personality. But
the Streisand effect, right?
Yeah, and another thing you see, like there's some guys that have access to tool. I'm seeing the same movie over 100 times. It's either a fucking Star Trek or a Star Wars AI thing. Really interesting visuals. Same thing. Fucking more Darth Vader, more spaceships, horrible, awful dialogue. Just cringy.
Man, it's almost like writing is the key thing for a good movie.
I was getting there, but yes. My point is, so like that's basically what's happening in music. Everybody. It was like when desktop publishing first became acceptable, everybody thought they could write. No, they can't even typeset.
Yeah, or design,
Yeah.
Oh, you saw some horrible Microsoft. What was the Microsoft program they had? Microsoft Publisher?
Yeah.
Saw some horrible. I mean, I did desktop. I had Aldus, PageMaker back 30 or 40 years ago for our business, trying to learn that. And I mean, but not that I was that good at it back then, but I just saw so many bad things, because people have computers and well, we can do this, so we're going to do it, and it just
that was nothing.
Know the basics of design, right?
The hellscape that was Front Page.
Look,
I can do a web. Yeah, when we saw Front Monkey code, it was like, oh, just shoot me now. I don't want to go near this.
Microsoft Front Page. Oh, that was horrendous.
Yeah, Front Monkey, man. You'd get 87 open close, tags because they just happened to touch something but didn't insert anything. And
that was a nightmare. Yeah. Well, I remember getting on the internet the first time. Off of like AOL, and when you go to websites, people were like gatekeeping. They're like, I can't stand all these AOL people on the internet. They're like, leave us alone. Basically like, leave us alone.
That was me.
They couldn't, we were like, there's no way to cut these people out. But
yeah, we were like, oh God, the unwashed masses of the barbarians are at the gate and they just walked through. Who let them in?
Yeah, I need to address something. I'm absolutely not getting down on AI at all, Putin. It's another tool that has become that has achieved widespread acceptance. What I'm down on is the lack of creativity, lack of taste, and all of these people who think they have a vision worth looking at when they don't have shit.
Yeah,
By
what
the
you'll do
way,
is, I mean, it's the democratization of content, and I mean content in the basest sense.
Yeah,
Congrats,
like
you
my
can
video.
generate things. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have any taste or more importantly, any good ideas behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is real or not. Did you see the thing with Judge Dredd that Taika Waititi is going to be directing a Judge Dredd movie?
Yeah, I don't believe it.
God,
Though.
no.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't believe it because of who holds the rights to the frame. I don't think that's
Seems
real.
fishy. Yeah, I agree.
Well, so that came out several months ago, and it was just
Right, a
he was
rumor.
shopping a project. And nobody's buying that project. I mean, he can shop all he wants. I mean, he hasn't been getting a lot of work since Love and Thunder.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, just stay away from anything I like, Takeshi Waititi, please.
I mean, he's another example of scaled too fast and too large. You know, the smaller stuff that he did starting out. I mean, you know, What We Do in the Shadows was great as a movie. I haven't watched the TV series, but by all accounts, it was pretty good as well.
It's fun. I think the movie's better, but the series has Matt Berry in it, so it is funny. Well, again, he's a quirky guy who attempted to apply that to mainstream stuff, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, James Gunn's is the same way. Just be a trauma director. You're fine.
Yeah, they're the same. Actually, they're the same problem, wearing a slightly different suit.
But the same bad hair.
Yeah. Well, and the same weird sexual proclivities.
Well, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, because Guardians worked, as a quirky project, as a long time.
Professor, where's our soundboard? Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, the same with, Gunn also did Slither, which, a quirky ensemble movie. And everything he's done that's been semi-successful has been quirky ensemble movies. So when he was taking over DC and they said, he's going to do Superman. And I was like, that's a bad idea. Because guess what? It's going to be a quirky ensemble movie.
Yeah, Gavin says Matt Berry makes everything better. I tend to agree. Although his father, I think, was still the better character in the IT crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, because Guardians, I'm like, this can't be good. How are they going to do Guardians? Of course, they did the newer iteration of Guardians versus the original. But I'm like, and that at the time that was pretty popular in the comics, that run, that new iteration. And I'm like, yeah, but how are they going to get normal people to like this? And ended up really loving that movie along with a lot of people. And part of the reason too, I think, was the soundtrack. Gunn's got that talent with the soundtrack and making things interesting. And
but he's ran out of good songs too now.
Well, it's like M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, he came up with I'm gonna basically just do the playlist, and enjoy that. Okay, that's cool. And then it kept happening, and then it started showing up in other movies. It was like, all right, we're tired of that. It was like, but this is the only trick I've got. Oh well, I'm sorry, but you better find a new one.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, I really liked Guardians, but there were some serious flaws of that movie. And I thought Guardians 2 absolutely sucked. I know some people like it, but dude, that is not a good movie. It's like the definition of an inferior sequel. It tried to copy all of the beats, and just no.
Well, I think another example of a movie that the first one was really good, and unfortunately, everybody drew the wrong conclusions from it for the sequels was Deadpool. The first Deadpool actually has a great story with real character arcs and some real heart and all that, and then it just became slapstick comedy. Let's
agreed.
I was like, I don't care.
No, the Deadpool 2 also borderline worthless, except
Deadpool
for Marina
Baccarin.
Yeah, she's not hard on the eyes. So.
No.
You know what wasn't good in the movie theater? Sitting next to your daughter because your wife insisted on taking the kids to Deadpool and having to watch International Women's Day. My wife is so. I'm like, Maureen, I don't think this is really going to be a kids movie. This is going to be pretty hard. I mean, we were teenagers at the time, right? So
You just doxed your wife. You know that, right?
that's okay. Yeah, no, I've
Okay.
called her. Yeah, no, people know that's Maureen. Yeah.
Okay.
Eminem, yeah, Mark and Maureen, and and we're in Boston visiting cousins. We're actually coming down to visit this weekend, and I got to mention that to them again. But I'm like, this was so. Movies you don't want to be sitting next to your kids watching,
Yeah, like Animal House.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'll give you.
Dad was good to watch with it, Animal House. Maybe not Mom, but
Yeah,
I was married, and we had a friend that brought over. He was like, "Hey, I got a movie we can watch." Okay, cool. And my mother was up. She was with us, and so she was awake, and so we throw it in From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, when Cheech Marin shows up, start selling the different varieties of vaginas
pussy,
that
yes.
are available. Yeah, that and I was just like cringing. My wife, I could see physically getting smaller because she was just hoping to disappear. And then when he gets to Stinky Pussy, my mom starts howling laughing. And we were just, I mean, we just all lost it because of her. But she just
Thank
she
God.
was laughing so hard she couldn't catch her breath. It was so ridiculous.
Well, that was the icebreaker you needed there at that moment.
Yeah,
right?
but I was like, this is gonna be a rough night. How long? I know I've only been in this movie about 45 minutes.
That's the movie that introduced Selma Hayek to the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Did
she
you
was in
pause?
one.
Introduction.
Oh no, Desperado, dude. She was so smoking hot in that.
Yeah,
But
but Dust Till Dawn with that dancing
Dust Till
scene.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Now, Still Dawn is what put her on the radar for me. I think I saw Desperado after, or whatever it is, but Dust Till Dawn is what, like, you see that movie and you see that scene, and it's like, it's not like today with the internet that everybody's sharing. You walk out and you're like, who's that? You know what I mean? You remember that from the movie. You're like, who was that hot woman that I just saw in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And immediately
Rewind.
guys are finding out that it's like, oh, it's Selma Hayek. It's Selma Hayek. Like, I didn't know, but I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah, Dust to Dawn introduced a new parts of her that
The important parts.
but yeah,
another one that had a great intro that, in my opinion, she never managed to reach that same height. I don't dislike her, but she never managed to reach that same height as Cameron Diaz in Mask.
yeah.
Like when I saw Mask, I'm like, who's she? Like, that's like, wow, she's hot. But I feel like every movie after that movie, she never looked as hot as she did in Mask.
Yeah, because she's one of those women that are just hottest in her mid-20s, and she was, she had her window.
It was a good window, though. That Mask, she looks really good in Mask.
Yeah, I thought something about Mary. She was solid, definitely.
Still good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I'd say that first Charlie's Angels movie or whatever. She had a few years that she was hot, and I liked how she looked good during those years.
Yeah, I actually think she was channeling a bit of that 40 movie starlet energy in Mask too.
Was Mask really her first movie or first big role, or was she in stuff before that? I don't remember now.
E. Clay Thomason asks if I own a radar. And it's funny, I don't own a radar. What I did as a kid, I owned a metal detector. I was really excited because I thought metal detector, you're going to have it, and I'm going to find a treasure. And then I think, I got it as a gift. I don't know if it was like from Radio Shack or whatever it is. There was like a metal detector. And I went around for like a week. Like I would go all over the place trying to find treasure. Unfortunately, I didn't find any treasure with the metal detector, so I stopped using it. It's like, it's a disappointing toy if you think about it.
You're not going to find gold instantly, right?
No, I just
find gold.
found nothing.
You can
They're
find
banned at our
stuff.
beaches in town here.
Yeah, it takes work.
There's
You
like
can
needles and stuff. I don't want that.
You can find stuff, but it takes work. The guys that are serious about it, they do 12 hours a day on the beach and stuff.
Yeah, our beach, they're stuffy. They banned all the metal detectors. I'm like, come on.
I think that Clue. I know a lot of people, they like Rocky Horror, and that's fine. But honestly, I never really liked that movie. I obviously think he's a fantastic actor. If there's any reason to watch it, his performance there is amazing. But I saw the movie once many years ago, and I never wanted to see it again, and I still don't want to see it again. But Clue, in my opinion, is a movie that I really like. I liked it when it came out. I like it until this day, and I think he's great in Clue. So, and I also like him in Annie. I thought he was good in Annie.
Yeah, great performer. I love Rocky Horror, I have to say, though. Yeah, just the music is just so damn good.
Everything about that movie annoys me, except for I recognize that he's a good actor, but man, that movie tests my patience all across the board. The music is annoying.
You don't like
the whole theme,
right.
the theme of the man, woman, whatever. All of that is not my thing. I don't like that stuff personally.
Yeah. For me, I don't love it. I don't love Rocky Horror, but I've seen it. I've seen clips of it, and then I did see the whole film. I understand why people enjoy it, right? It does have this very bizarre charm to it, like the way that it's made and the very kitschy songs and stuff that are in it. I understand why people have the relationship they have to that movie. It is not one of my favorites, but I was surprised that when I watched it, I was like, okay, I get it, right? I get why people are having so much fun with this. It's not for me, but I get why people have.
The main reason to see it is audience participation.
Yeah,
I have had some friends who have gone to some of the shows. I have never been to an audience participation show, but I have friends that have told me about it. They've gone to some shows, and they told me about how that goes.
Yeah, the movie's only there for the cues. You're basically acting it out with your friend, and that's the thing. I've been to dozens. I don't even remember the movie. It was a community participation, and man, it was a great way to get laid, like back in the day.
Yeah, I got dragged to it with some friends. Pun. Doubly so. Yeah, doubly so because they had me dress up as Frankenfurter. Yeah, so I was a virgin that was also Frankenfurter at the movie. It was a very bizarre time. But I enjoyed it greatly. It was hilarious.
Yeah, Elizabeth Quince, that was your Footloose for you.
Yep. I mean, my very first time seeing him in anything would have been Annie. I would have seen that, long before I saw a lot of his other work. But of course, he was in Legend. That's not mentioned here on these slides, but maybe it is later on. They do talk about Rocky Horror.
That's the first time I actually cared who Tim Curry was.
Yeah,
was Legend, and then when I saw him, because I just like, oh wow, this Tim Curry guy. And then when I was sitting down in the theater to see him for Red October, they show Tim Curry's name, in the pre-credits, and I was like, oh okay. And then throughout the movie, I'm like, who the fuck was Tim? I thought it was actually the cook, because if you look at Darkness, and then you look at Tim Curry, and you're like, what the hell? And then you realize that the only thing that was visible on him in the makeup was his lower lip, as Darkness.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched the episode of Psych that he was on last night after we did Mr. Brown, and he's basically playing Simon from
I want to answer. Young Sarandon or Streisand. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like either of those. I really not my cup of tea, either of them. Susan Sarandon, I actually think that when she was young, I hate to say this, forget about her politics. I'm just giving the dude's opinion, and I'm going to put her strange politics aside, which I absolutely don't like. But when she was young, she looked all right. It wasn't like I thought she was. If you see like a movie with her, like Joe or wherever she started her career,
The Hunger.
Yeah. There are two very good reasons to like Sarandon.
Yeah, she's got
over others.
Right, maybe that, but she was in like Joe in that movie. That was one of her early roles, and I didn't think that she I saw that at some point, and I don't think she looked that great there. She looked all right, I guess. The only thing I'll give her. And again, this is no endorsement of her, because I actually, all of her behavior in the past maybe like 5 years, I think has been terrible. Like, I don't like anything she says or does. She seems annoying and pompous and irritating. But if I put all of that aside, about maybe 8 years ago, I think it was 8 years ago, I was like at an event, and I suddenly stood there and she was standing next to me. Considering that her age was already not 20, because I don't know how old she is now, but she was not like, how old is Susan Sarandon now?
She's
It's
probably
gotta be
75.
75. So I guess maybe she was like, 68 or whatever it is. For a 68-year-old woman, she looked very good for her age. I'll give her that. She looked very much like herself and very well put together at that moment for a 68-year-old woman. I even had a situation that somebody asked me to take a picture of her and another person. So, I dare even say that there's maybe somewhere on the internet, like somewhere.
She's
maybe a picture.
79.
Yeah, I'll say
Oh,
she's going to be
yeah.
80 in just a few weeks.
So
I
yeah,
was gonna say, she's
that
pretty
makes more sense. So that means she was like 72, and maybe even that's more impressive. So I took a picture of her and another person, and that picture made its way, like it's on the internet somewhere. I mean, I'm not saying everybody looks at this picture on the internet every day, but there's a picture somewhere, and I'm the one that took it of like her and another person. So make of
Yeah,
that what
The
you will.
link in the private chat of it.
Yeah.
Her picture of her. Yeah.
Her-
I don't
assets-
know.
her
I don't-
assets.
Oh man, I don't know why somebody suggested that she get a bob hair cut, but she had it for way too long. I mean, that's the one kind of downfall with her in The Hunger, where otherwise, holy shit, and you get hot lesbian scenes with her naked. Okay, let's have some. Tony Scott's first movie, by the way, and David Bowie in it. Yeah.
And
Great
Catherine
movie.
Deneuve. So
Yeah.
whenever I see Sarandon, I just put Catherine Deneuve in her place, and I have more fun.
But you leave Sarandon's breasts.
Susan Sarandon was
fair.
fine, nowhere near the hottest actress I've ever seen. That is South Korean actress Ha Ji-won. I've never heard of Ha Ji-won, but now I'm kind of curious. That's what we do here on the Night Owl.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
After
let's
dark?
Google the hotties.
Late nights looking up hot women.
Bryce,
Yeah.
are you forgetting I have my binders? I can just send you some files.
I see.
Binders full
Your
of women?
binders of women.
Yeah, she's cute.
He prefers his women bound.
I mean, she's
Ji-won is
cute, but
cute.
I wouldn't put her as like the hottest woman I've ever seen. She's cute though. I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong with her. I think it's this one here.
I think that Salma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn qualifies as one of the hottest women I've ever seen.
That was very hot, very hot, and
Yes.
there's no doubt about it.
I mean, you
By the
just
way,
have to forget the camera angles add 2 or 3 feet. She's actually only like 3'4" tall. So
I don't care.
you know.
She didn't need any additions in the round places I was looking at.
No, I met Salma Hayek. She's so tiny, it's almost hard to believe. She was with
There's
her new
nothing
baby.
tiny
and
about her.
No. Her height is small. I don't care.
Her baby
She's
made
aging very
She's
well.
big
though.
in all
She's
the right
amazing.
places.
She's
yeah, her
timeless.
baby made her look even smaller. But like for Koreans, I think Shin Jae-yoon is way hotter than that was the woman who modeled for Stellar Blade.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
And
that
she
woman
is a
was
model.
pretty hot.
Whew.
Yeah.
But she has like a more I in the face she has sort of more womanly grown up face that I think is sexier. But so Salma Hayek's really sweet. I swear to God, 5'10" and heel 4'10" and heels maybe. She's tiny. Like you can tell she's got, but they are relative to, they are not as big as they look just because Oliver is so small. I ran into her at Starbucks.
They're plenty.
She was pushing her stroller with her newborn in there, and
Yeah. Oh, by the way, have you seen her recently?
in person or a picture.
Either.
Who are we talking about?
Selma.
I saw some pictures of her about the whole Blake Lively thing within the year, I think.
Yeah. So her boobs have gotten bigger because of menopause.
Yes. Yeah, she's
Oh.
she's timeless. I wonder if she is a vampire.
I'm willing to find out.
Right?
Yeah, Jesus, what's going on there? Yeah, she must be really hot too. Like, woo, got those hot flashes going.
I know I was getting hot flashes.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, now we're all speechless. Now we're all imagining somehow I can
Yeah.
dust
Dude,
till
we're just
dawn.
thinking about
Just
Selma
play the
Hayek as a
clip.
vampire. Let's go.
Let's play the clip now. Yeah.
Yeah, she ordered I think she ordered a girl drink though.
RMT38 mentioned Marky Post and Buck Rogers was super hot.
Yeah.
Well, Marky Post was super hot. Okay, let's
Yeah.
just we don't have to qualify
God.
that she was
Her
in
in
Buck
Night Court
Rogers. She was hot.
somehow. Yeah.
But actually, there were tons of hot women in Buck Rogers. I recently got the Blu-rays and was watching
Princess
through them, and I was
Arnaldo,
like,
let's go.
every episode, it's like, my God, they do not make shows like this anymore. Every episode has an absolute hottie in it.
No, that the princess. It was just wearing a bikini.
Oh,
Yeah.
Princess Ardala, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They had Dorothy Stratton on there, the Playmate of the Year on there. They had oh yeah. And remember Star Trek, the original series?
Oh yeah,
A ton of hot ladies.
Lots of
Oh, hell
gorgeous women.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching The Fall Guy, and Marky Post was the the assistant or the
Mhm.
more serious character.
Yeah,
always
or,
wore
Heather Locklear, right?
Heather was it, or Heather Thomas or Heather Locklear?
Heather-
Which Heather
I can't
was?
remember. Was it
Thomas.
It was Heather Thomas.
I don't know,
but
they all
I
look
just
alike.
thinking, yeah,
No,
all the
no,
gorgeous
Tom-
blondes look.
Yeah.
But,
Thomas is prettier. She is the goat.
Yeah.
It's generic Hollywood blonde.
But Marky Post comes out in one episode wearing a bikini. I'm like, holy shit!
I was like,
I'm
ooh.
I'm like, where's
She
my
really did pull
VHS?
off that hidden
I'm like, let me-
librarian hotness
Yeah,
going on.
I'm like,
What the
wait a
hell?
minute, why do they have her in some odd outfits too? I mean, she's
Yeah.
giving Heather Thomas a run for her money. I'm like, whoa, did I tape this show this week?
Yeah, I hope
Rewind,
so.
you know?
Yeah, it's a keeper.
Yeah, because back then you couldn't go to the internet for that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
right?
no.
I mean,
No, that's it.
No, you just had to go to the porn bushes and hopefully it was harvesting season and there was a
Yep,
magazine
yeah.
there.
You had to just take a little walk out to the porn forest, and hopefully
Yep.
it was in that wooden box.
Yeah.
well, we found out years later was like the scoutmasters or dads would like confiscate our magazines, and then some of our dads had passed
Yeah.
away. We found the boxes we
Yeah.
got our magazines back and then threw
Yes.
them out.
Yeah.
This is my inheritance.
Are you guys forgetting Jamie Lee Curtis was on Buck Rogers too, and so was Julie Newmar, Catwoman.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That used to be like TV shows used to realize there was tremendous utility in giving somebody good looking male and female someone to look
Well,
at.
I mean, there was a reason that we had the idea of Hollywood hot and then just
Yeah.
regular
Right.
beverage every day.
yeah.
Now I can go down to any local school, university or even high school and find hotter looking women than what they're casting in
Yeah,
movies.
I was just. Thank you for stopping at high school. I was going to say, like, even the homeless people have to look like people you'd have sex with.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Well, that's what M says. Yeah, Dune '84 in the TV miniseries, we always used to cast super hot women. Now we can Zendaya and Florence Pugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Little. It's just. God.
Well, I mean, no,
No, I was.
they're bad looking, but yeah,
No,
they're not
she's like-
voluptuous, sexy,
Yeah,
incredibly
flowy.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah, Florence Pug and her doughy titties. Like, no, thank you.
I had a woman a friend of mine, she was watching Oppenheimer, and she made a comment. I'm not going to repeat what she said about Florence. And I'm
Yeah, it's like.
I'm like, shouldn't a guy be saying that? I could say whatever I want.
No, it won the Oscar for most putrid nudity of the year.
Yeah.
Like, just like most unimpressive titties, then the award goes to just listen. I mean, if it weren't for the fact, I think, well, yeah,
Was that the same reason that Heath Ledger won the Oscar for telling Gyllenhaal that and you are beautiful?
yeah,
That's the whole reason they gave him the Oscar.
yeah.
He was able to deliver that line
With a
convincingly.
I couldn't say that shit with a straight face. God,
No.
she literally hurts my eyes to look at her. I don't know what's wrong, but god damn, she's.
Anyone remember Exit to Eden?
Oh yeah,
You're talking
Yeah.
about Rosie O'Donnell and the bondage outfit. I mean, there were other gorgeous women in the movie, of course.
Well,
but,
Delaney was
Rosie
in that,
O'Donnell.
right? She was the one that ran it.
No,
Yeah,
Dana
Dana-
Delaney read it. And,
Yeah,
Right, Dana Delaney was the head of the.
yeah.
matriarch or whatever you want
Okay,
to call
yeah.
it.
Boy, talk about girl next door hot. Holy
Mhm.
crap, man.
I think Florence Pugh is overrated. I am sorry. She's just all right. She's kind of cute, maybe. But
I don't think so. I don't overrate her at all. I think she's right up there with Bella Ramsey and Cynthia Erivo.
Wow,
I
I'm not putting
that's kind
come
of.
on.
I think that's too
Again,
far.
I think she's community college attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We're not going
See-
to stand for that here in this
Yeah,
show.
Senior year,
She
and
looks
you're
like
really-
she has the
yeah.
correct number of chromosomes at least.
Yeah, community college. If you're really drunk, senior year. Yeah, I know it's not quite that bad, but I'm overcompensating for the overratedness. She, there was a point I think where she looked kind of cute, but I think they have to do a lot of preliminary work to make that happen.
You're probably right, Ista, but I don't think I rate her more than Cynthia Erivo and whoever you said.
Yeah.
Big Sir River says, I remember Barbara Eden. Barbara Eden was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
The good thing about Dana Delaney
She
is
could sing too.
she slept
Yeah.
around, so there are a lot of stories about how really awesome
Yeah,
she is.
Who?
Oh,
Dana
Putin
Delaney.
3 is saying Maggie is okay looking, but the lighting in Dark Knight was bad. Look, the problem with the lighting in Dark Knight was that she was lit and we could see her.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what. There was once a movie years ago called Secretary with James
Yeah.
Spader. And in that movie, I think that Maggie Gyllenhaal was cute.
Yeah,
Been
'cause
hanging
they
around
did-
with vets
Yeah,
too
no.
long.
They
Stop it.
didn't because they didn't show her face. She was wearing
Yeah.
these tight leather bent over the desks. They only showed her from the back. That's
yeah,
why
when you
thought
show
it was
her
great.
ass, okay, that's fine.
I think also you were saying, I don't know which actress you were saying, when she was in her 20s, she was, better than later. I think that Maggie Gyllenhaal, maybe in her youth, was at least like qualified for cute, but it didn't kind of, with age, she didn't
doesn't age
gracefully,
well, so-
Yeah, that was one thing. My wife said something about when she saw some clips from the interviews that Gyllenhaal was having for the bride, and where she's not only hit the wall, but she did it face first and went through the wall and then found a few other buildings to hit. But I said, the thing about her face is you could always tell that she was going to age poorly, and my wife's like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "She always was a bit jowly." And so her face is just going to like drop off, and she's going to have the side jowls and the turkey waddled neck. It's just, I'm sorry, but if there was a time she was attractive, the expiration date on that was really fast. How is her
I'm doing
brother
the-
more attractive as a woman than she is?
I'm doing the Mega Geek Doritos thing. He actually is.
Mhm.
Oh, I was just looking up Dana Delaney. She grew up not far from me in Stamford, Connecticut. Oh, wow. Much older, of course, but I didn't know she was from Connecticut. Wow.
Yeah, man, she is so the girl next door sexy, like China Beach. Woo.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I noticed her.
Very, yeah. And of course, I'm a sucker for redheads too. So
Zeta Zones
doesn't hurt it.
was super hot in the heist movie with Connery, even if romantic match
Oh,
was unbelievable. I think that in that movie, like Sean Connery insisted that they have to have an affair in the movie. I honestly feel that way. I feel like probably he wasn't supposed to have an affair with her, and he's like, "Sure, if you want me to sign this contract, and that's it."
I
it's
would
not,
have.
it's not like she doesn't like older men, but she was hotter in Zorro, man. Holy
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
moly.
Yeah. And Eminem still going on about Pew. You know what? And I have to agree. Okay, look, Pew. She looks like she's got that body type that she's just a box of donuts away from going full on Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, if we didn't live in a world of Ozempic, she would already be unfilmable.
Yes.
Well, I want to bring up, another one that sadly has been getting a lot of praise, and I understand for the acting side, but somehow everybody's decided that she's the most beautiful woman in the world is Indy Navarrete. Indy Navarrete is attractive, but she already has all the signs that she's not going to age well.
Well, at this moment,
she's so smoking hot for me right now.
Right
And I
now,
love
at
her.
least she looks good.
Did you notice the cellulite on her thighs and the boobs that are already starting to hang down to her belly button?
Here at the Night Owl, where we only speak about about the most important issues.
Eyebrow subjects here.
Welcome to body shaming on the Night Owl.
No, I want to hear the rest of
Everyone
that.
turn
This
their
is
camera on
this
right
is
now.
all on Price because he made me come on to do a
No.
top
I'm
100.
I'm not
on
against what
music.
you're saying. I want to hear more of it. Say your piece.
So I think she's attractive facially, but she's a very good actress. That's kind of, and then
Yeah, I do.
everybody just goes over the top with the praise to now, oh my God, she's so hot. And I was like, all right, everybody calm down.
There's something very
Stop
sexy
gassing
about
up
her,
these
though.
mids.
There's something she's got something, and I haven't seen Obsession. I'm just talking about seeing her in the Superman and Lois TV show.
Did you see
and
that
she was the
Sydney Sweeney released a commercial today?
Oh my God! There was no pause on Instagram though. Unfortunately, how can you pause an Instagram video?
You need pause, rewind.
I was like, is this AI or is this?
I want to show it, but I'm worried like my account, like my YouTube will get flagged. It was very.
I know Dooley's showed it on their stream earlier today.
They did?
Listen,
yeah.
We had a long talk about with Movie Cynic, who really understands YouTube and what's permissible and what's not. You're fine showing that video.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me find it. So I guess this is
yeah. Head case is going to explode while we do this, so just fair warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Your birthday, may you have many more.
We're seeing nothing.
She knows where her buns are buttered.
Heaven has in store. Be happy on your birthday.
You might get copyright struck for the music, though.
Yeah, you might want to mute it, but
yeah, we don't need the music.
I mean, we might need a little music to cover up certain sounds.
Yeah. So this is now I got to make note of all these makes and model of lingerie so I can go out and.
They're all her lingerie, right? It's her lingerie.
She's selling them,
yeah. So. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know what? You can say what you want about Sydney Sweeney. People can say she's hot. People can say she's not. People can argue with her politics, whatever. They can say, oh, she's playing up this, vixen line, thing, whatever. You know what? This girl is making rain, making hay while the sun shines, right?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
She
knows
assets that have an expiration date.
Exactly.
And she knows damn well if she's going to cash in on them, will you do it now?
Exactly. She is cashing in on what she has. Yep. And I guarantee you, she is not going to be the, the actress who starts to, complain about how, they don't want to hire me anymore because I'm, 45.
Yeah. Why don't they take me serious as a real actress?
Yeah.
You make
Yeah, and she's investing her money in companies and classic cars, and she's not blowing it on coke and parties.
She is just like a male athlete.
Well,
right?
I will
male
say this
athletes
also.
Only have so many years that they actually can make money.
And I suspect
is an asset that expires.
And I suspect that the fact that she's hanging out with this billionaire businessman guy that built careers of a lot of people, probably not a bad. I'm not saying she shouldn't be in a relationship with a guy if she doesn't like him, but I'm sure that guy with his knowledge probably can also help her make even more money.
Yeah.
And she's probably thought of that.
Well, I mean, Scooter Braun's barely a billionaire, so she'll probably upgrade, soon enough.
Right. But right now, I mean, he is a billionaire, and but the other thing is he managed to take people and build careers and things like that, discover people, and he understands business for artists. So I'm sure that if he's sitting there and she's telling him, oh, I want to invest in some stuff, he must have some good ideas. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, that woman never has to work a day in her life again already, and she's still only going to get, more.
She's going to get much richer, yes.
I think the other thing is I think she has a much more realistic understanding of who she is and what her assets are and what those expiration dates are than any number of people that are in Hollywood right now. Again, ScarJo running around now going, Oh, it is so terrible. It's like, shut up. You thought you
Yeah.
were a serious
Yeah.
actor, even though you couldn't act half the time, but you had assets that most assuredly convinced people.
Yeah.
And Sydney, I don't think operates under those delusions at all.
Yeah, she's not going to turn around and bitch when she's 40 and say, "They don't really like me because I'm a female."
Right.
Yeah, the people
Yeah,
like me
okay.
because I had good looks. It's like, yeah, ScarJo. It's like, shut the hell up. Of course,
Yeah.
you know,
you were
why do you think
you
you're
were
so popular?
But
you were perfectly happy to get out there and shake your moneymaker and, show off what you had when you had it and get those roles because you were hot. And now, you're going to turn around and say, well, it's so sexist.
Well, now, if
Hollywood."
you lied to yourself and said you got those roles because you're a great actress, that's on you.
You're correct. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if you believe the press agent, that's your fault.
Putin 3 says Zendaya does that too. She markets herself. I can't take that away from Zendaya. She has a good, brand, and she knows how to work the system, and she also behaves respectfully. The fact that I think she's overexposed and she shouldn't be in every movie, that's separate from the fact that I can acknowledge that she knows how to run her brand, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's easy to get sick of her, but it's hard to knock her. She's never attacked the fans. She's not bitchy about it.
I mean, it's easy to knock her. It's just on the talent side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even Sweeney, Sweeney's still really willing to take risks. Like, that movie wasn't very good, but she really brought it. So as she gets older, I think she has what it takes to start, getting those more serious roles too. We'll see. But I love her attitude. She's got to be one of the coolest women in Hollywood going.
Yeah, I think
I
she just
agree,
has a level head on her shoulders.
Yeah. She does martial arts. She loves her Shelby Mustangs. She's,
Stop it. I was already erected up.
she knows how to work on cars, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I'm like, stop.
I got to invite her over to help me work on my
Yeah.
67 Mustang. Do you think she'd show up? You remember when that show where they would take your classic car, and fix it without you knowing? Like, the wife would call. What was that? What was that
Yeah.
show called?
Get My Ride, is it? No,
it
was a garage. What was that? Was a garage?
It had
Someone
Foos
will help us in the chat.
involved.
But,
Yeah, I mean, and I
Sydney
think-
Sweeney should do a show like that. And please, Sydney, come help me fix my 67 Mustang.
Yeah.
Or don't. Just come by. It's fine.
Yeah. I think we can tell, like, just from her interactions, from the interviews, from all of the criticism and everything, she just lets it roll off. She's true to herself. She knows who she is. And so if people can complain about, whatever, they can, criticize her politics, say, oh, you did this ad where you talked about your jeans and that's so racist, whatever. And guess what? And she's just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you'll know when I
Whatever.
have something to say.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she knows who she is. She's confident. And honestly, damn, that's sexy.
Yeah. Mark, it's Classic Car Kings. Is that the one?
Oh, yeah.
No, that wasn't it.
Classic car.
Classic Car Kings is a
No.
UK show.
No.
It was a U.S. show.
Oh, okay.
Something My Ride or no? What the heck? No.
Pimp My Ride, but they didn't.
No, not Pimp My Ride.
Wasn't
No.
My Ride. It had Chip Foose in it. He was the one, the driver behind it, and it was they would go and do,
classic car restoration.
Nope.
No, it was had a catchy name to it.
Rust to Riches.
Nope.
No,
Car Master.
Overhauling.
Overhauling.
Yep, we all kind of found it at the same time. I was
of course, they had a cute girl on the
yeah.
show too. Of course,
Yep.
right? A couple of cute girls on that show. They switch hosts a few times. Don't ask me how I know.
Where she would give updates and talk about technical things, and I was like, you don't actually know what any of those things are, do you?
I love that show. I wanted to be on it so badly.
Yeah, I think Mark D with a C is on the top of my list as most likely to own a Batmobile. Remake. They have some versions of that car that are incredible. They're actually better than the screen used car in the show. They're
more functional.
Yeah,
Yes.
They have fully ejector seats, missiles, lights,
The one that was in the show was a shell that had wheels and it moved. And occasionally it stayed in one piece while it was on screen.
And Ford had already done most of the work on it because it was a concept car.
It was a concept car, yeah.
Yeah, I love the way they have a real jet fire that'll come out of the back of the thing, man.
Loved it. Yeah, jet turbine.
Yep.
Turbines to power. Yep.
No, atomic batteries to power. Turbines
yeah,
to speed.
To speed. There we go. Yep. Well, it's been a while. It's in the '60s show, so it's tough to remember right now.
I just have to settle for my back shark repellent. And,
so I figure if you ever run into Sweeney, I think I know what a good pickup line will be. You look at her and go, "Do those come in metric or just SAE?" And
well, actually, she was in the in our town's ice cream shop. So I've used maybe the same ice cream self-serve frozen yogurt machine as Sydney Sweeney.
I touched the lever that she touched.
If she ate out of one of the dishes and she used one of the spoons, then you could say there's a very likely possibility I have in some way swap spit with.
If she used the bowl as emergency bra, that you can fantasize about that.
Well, I had a couple of groupie girlfriends back in the day, so if you're using the transitive property, I've been close to like
you've had sex with so many homeless people and drug dealers, and
she had sex with Bon Jovi, and my girlfriend also had sex with Bon Jovi, so that makes us.
So by the transitive property, you had sex with Bon Jovi.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound nearly as cool.
Are we ever getting invited back to this show now?
No, she said
Price is asleep, so
no, I'm here. Fine.
No, he stayed quiet so he doesn't get clipped.
This was like in the 80s, and we were watching Star Trek: The Next Generation. We're just on the couch, and they had one of those public service, and it says, "You've not only had sex with your partner, you've had sex with everyone they've ever had sex with." And I look at her and go, no wonder I'm so damn tired.
You don't remember anything after that.
She had a good sense of humor about it. Hey.
After she knocked you out.
He says, no wonder I'm slippery when wet.
No, listen, man, I'm sober. It's not like I have the most defensible past either. So
she was the one that gave love a bad name.
So now we're all speechless.
Yeah.
There's
a super chat we need to hit up, Price.
Okay, wait.
I'm getting the side eye at the moment. Sorry, it was long before you.
Yes, but now she's having sex with all those people.
Yeah, now she's having sex with Bon Jovi. Look at it that way. It's okay.
Yeah.
Current day Bon Jovi.
Hey, babe, do you like Bon Jovi? I got some for you right here.
Oh, God.
Okay, so $5 from Jason Webster. American Eagle Outfitters will certainly sing Sydney Sweeney's praises. They will forever be indebted to her. Yeah, I think that campaign really helped their company from what I recall.
Yeah, it was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Huge in a couple ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least two I can think of.
Yep.
Like, wait, did you read Mexican Iron Man's?
Yeah.
Yeah. From earlier.
Yeah, that's what did it. I think it was the way he made Jane Seymour nervous, but that's just me.
Well, one thing is Price was talking earlier, but when he was doing his victory lap, the annoying thing about covering a lot of the pop culture stuff is legit. I mean, you get tired of just saying the same thing over, because when you diagnose the problem, and the problem is writing and basic competence, how many times can you say that? Right? It's oh, look, another movie that was written poorly and wasn't shot well, and all that. It was like, it used to be remarkable that you could point out these things. Now it's just the standard. It's more remarkable when something at least makes sense in the writing and was lit well and has proper colors in it and all that, right? And so, I mean, the observations of, oh, look, Warner Brothers is a bit of a shit show. Yep. Okay, let's move on, right? I mean, we would have the shortest shows ever, if we just kept reducing it. But there's only so many ways that you can spin these basic truths about how bad things are.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Well, I mean, you guys were talking about Star Trek before I was here, but yeah, talk about how bad things can be, and one of the horrible things about the sets and the lighting. I mean, who'd want to sit on that new Strange Nude Worms Enterprise? I mean, it would drive me crazy. I'd be calling HR pretty quick. I mean, the lighting on that is so uninviting, and the colors are so harsh. And I mean, they actually, try to design things so people don't go, nuts. So they're have some user friendliness to them. That's taken into account in the design of places you got to live or work. And I mean, oh God, I can't stand those bridges. I mean.
Well, at least Academy, you feel like you could order a burger because it just looks like a diner or something. It's
well, the tree was good. The tree in the middle, I guess, was okay. Right?
A random tree.
Unfortunately, if you order the burger, it's going to be delivered to you by a robot with Stephen Colbert's voice, making some terrible joke when he gives it
my
to
appetite.
you.
Yeah,
It'll be a soy burger too.
Yeah, an Impossible burger. With an impossible waiter.
Yeah, and you know what everybody wanted, right? Was everyone said after Picard they wanted to see Star Trek Legacy. They wanted to see a version of Star Trek with 7 of 9 on the Enterprise G, making the show whatever. Well, we got it. It's in comic form now.
7 of 9 is.
No, wait a minute. You got it in, was it Section 8 or whatever the hell it is?
Yeah, she's about a 4 out of 10 now. She's no longer.
Well, they're giving us sort of their version of the Star Trek Legacy in comic form, and it is one of the most ass-looking comics I have seen in a long time. The art style
it's got that bloopy French style.
Dreadful.
Yeah.
Is that watercolors or is that?
Look at this.
Under the cover.
Do you doesn't even look like her.
Do you remember the holiday special?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember the animated introduction to Boba Fett?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That's what this looks like.
This looks worse than that.
Did that where everything is kind of floopy.
They did that.
That
they
was
did
kind
that
of
same
cool.
style
Wait.
for the Droids cartoon.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the holiday special where they introduced Boba Fett?
Yes.
I rather like that cartoon. That animation.
When was the last time you saw that?
No,
Professor. I don't know, a long time ago, but I thought
watch it now. So Boba Fett looks very gay. It was a particular French style of animation at the time. Where it was basically, no, you don't actually bend at the joints. You just kind of floop around like you're made of noodles. And
it is weird animation.
It is, and everything has kind of got this odd perspective to it.
No, they all look like men here. Look how masculine they're drawing all of the women.
Where are her implants? Her Borg implants.
Oh, well, it's sort of drawn in right here, but yeah, I mean, I get if you were just to show me this picture. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just it looks. God, this looks awful. This is what passes for comic book art now.
They're masculinizing them all. Like the cover that you showed doesn't look like anything like her, but looks like it could be a dude in makeup.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't add that to my pull list.
Vape, apparently. It says VAP. VAP.
Vapid.
That's the sound that phasers make now. VAP.
She's in charge. She's the captain of the new Enterprise?
Yes, she's the captain of the Enterprise G.
Which they were getting court-martialed.
Yeah,
leaving the Federation.
I don't know. It's stupid.
Well, maybe this is their punishment.
Absolutely nobody is going to read this pile of garbage.
G for Gyno.
They're going to sell 10 copies of this. It's terrible.
Well, that's a retailer incentive cover. It doesn't even look good either.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It looks terrible.
It's incentivized.
When's this coming out? Is it out now? Or is it?
Let's see. When did it say it's?
Check my comic book store.
That's awful.
Yeah, it looks absolutely terrible. September 23rd is the first issue from IDW. Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, look, the Klingon looks more feminine than.
Yeah, everything is androgynous.
What are they calling it? Star Trek #1, or what's this called?
Yeah, it's just their new mainline series, Star Trek.
Calling it number 2.
Calling it like 7 of 9 or something, or
nope. It's they're relaunching their mainline Star Trek series because they're not going to do their main IDW's mainline Star Trek series has been based in the Kelvin universe for a long time.
7 of 9, but looked like a revived corpse. RMT. No, they did that in Picard season 3.
Listen, Jerry Ryan was close to hitting the wall when she landed the Voyager role. She hung on, but man, if you look at her like 5 years before that, wow.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought Boston, not Boston Legal, Boston Public. She was okay in there, but she already looked like she was already well on her way to MILFdom.
I just want to point out that her husband essentially dropped out of his Senate campaign.
Gave us
because it was revealed that he managed to have a 3-way with his wife Jerry Ryan and another woman, and I was like, the hell with dropping out. He should be like named president of the Senate.
Well, actually, she refused. She refused, but Barack Obama's president because of 7 of 9.
She gave.
He was able to get
Obama.
the sealed divorce records. Obama.
Yep.
Well,
it's her
Obama
fault.
was a ruthless politician.
Yeah, it's
he got
her
the
fault.
divorce records.
Wait. She's the one that. She's the one that she dropped the. God, what is it? She's the one who exposed him. They had kept it quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Ryan
No.
I've heard this before, but I want to make sure I understand. So, who had a threesome with Jerry Ryan and another woman?
So
No
her
one did.
husband at the time,
John Ryan, Senator John Ryan, right?
yeah, of Illinois, and it was the re-election year. He was running, and it was part of the divorce proceedings and all of a sudden they were sealed records. Somehow those records got out. I'm sure it had nothing to do with people that worked in the courthouse that also happened to be very familiar with this other candidate that was running, Barack Obama. So Ryan dropped out of the race. Obama runs uncontested.
No, he ran against the carpetbagger, another.
He means
for
for
the
the
no. I mean in the primary that actually got him. I mean, he was a Democrat. He was going to win.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of here you go. So he runs essentially uncontested.
Yeah.
Wait, but the thing is, what was the big scandal that he had a threesome with Jerry Ryan and another woman?
As part of the divorce, the documents, one of the things that was mentioned is that John Ryan had approached his wife Jerry about a threesome, and if I remember right, it was actually like set up, and then she bailed out at the last minute.
Yeah, well, he was a sex addict, and he was trying to get her to do swinging culture for a while.
Yeah.
So he wanted Jerry Ryan to do a threesome with another woman.
Another woman.
And what did Jerry Ryan say?
She eventually said no.
Well,
I'm like, the fact that he was able to broach this and she considered it, I was like, all right, hell, make him Secretary of State.
Right. I mean, at least he's taking initiative.
He's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And my man has got, he's
a man of initiative. He's a man. I would say man of action, but he didn't succeed in his journey. So I'll give him a man of initiative.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Jerry Ryan is so gorgeous. Like, you always got to have more, right? That's what always gets you in trouble.
I always wanted to know
who
was he picking. Was she even hotter somehow? Because then, I mean, let's
Sydney
go.
Sweeney.
Yeah. Well, not at that age, please.
I
No,
know.
that's very uncomfortable.
Well, yeah. Well, someone spoken out, but yeah, that's the crazy thing is, that Obama would not have been president if Jack Ryan had. He was a shoo-in to win. I mean, the guy was, incumbent. There was no way he was gonna lose, and
all he needed to do was like be content that he has Jerry Ryan, and that wasn't good enough for him. He is a bit greedy.
No, my man, he dreamt big. We
greedy guy
to do the difficult things.
Yeah. Here it is. Her husband, then senator, investment banker, and politician Jack Ryan, pressured her and took her to adult sex clubs to perform sexual acts while other couples and complete strangers watched.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good for way to go, dude.
That's what he's a man of the people.
Happiness,
if he were running
wealth with the people.
He were running as a Democrat, he would have swept the elections, but he was
Yeah,
running as a Republican,
So,
so they chased him out.
she testified he wanted her to have sex in a cage inside a club with whips while other couples watched and asked her to perform. Well, I'm not going to say these words.
Yeah.
Okay. She said she refused all of these requests, but she kept going to the clubs. So,
It's a very
you
strange
know,
story. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, and then
think about
she
him.
was.
He
It wasn't supposed to come out either. This story. I mean,
Yeah,
this was all
yeah,
sealed in
yeah.
the
These
divorce
were
records.
sealed.
They didn't want to
Yeah.
damage
Wait,
the
but
kids.
what do you,
and-
he
looking-
couldn't have been Republican if
No, he was Democrat. But listen,
Democrat, right.
he wasn't a closer. He may not have been a. He
was a
got
Republican.
No, he's a Republican. Jack
He
Ryan's
was a
So-
Republican.
so how-
he was
Republicans have sex too.
right. No, but I'm
Yes.
saying, how did this pave the way for Obama then?
so
Because-
he was in the seat.
Right. He was
That-
the
that-
incumbent,
He was the incumbent in this seat in Illinois.
and it was pretty close to the election when he then stepped down, and they
So
then
he
was
left
replaced
and
with just
In June.
area
Keys,
guy.
the guy's name was
Yeah.
Keys, who came in, and he was replaced at the very last minute, and so Obama ended up winning in a landslide
Okay.
Yeah.
in that, and that's how he got into
Yeah.
the Senate.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure he had Obama had nothing to do with this thing.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
not.
Listen, if he couldn't get Jerry in the cage, maybe he wasn't the closer we all thought he was. I'm
Yep.
just saying. Maybe.
I will say though that he paid for his greed, because that sounds greedy to me. Also, Jerry
Yeah.
Ryan, we're talking about 2008. That's like almost 20 years ago. Jerry Ryan during those years was still,
Yeah.
No. It was before that, because it was when Obama's Senate run.
Oh, so when was it? It was even before, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
2004.
Yeah, it was,
This-
it was
no, no, no.
04.
This was before Voyager, right? Yeah, because she was dating Michael Okuda. She almost married Rick Berman during Voyager. So
Yeah.
this is way before that. Yeah.
So I guess if
Yeah,
that's
it
the
came
case-
out in like 04.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so the sealed records regarding the divorce, yes, it was in 04. It was during his Senate. So he stepped
Yeah.
out in
Right.
July.
But
The
actual
Republicans
divorce-
didn't find anyone to fill his seat on the ballot, fill in for
So-
him on the ballot until September. So the guy that they put on the ballot for what was previously held a Republican seat, he had no time at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
Alan Keyes
promote
had no
himself,
hope,
to
yeah.
to introduce himself to the electorate. So
It
Obama
was a
took that
radio
seat
call.
hands-on.
He was
So
It was
basically-
Alan
Yeah.
Keyes.
Excuse
Alan
me, but
Keyes.
I have to weigh in here. This guy, this Jack Ryan guy, whatever his name is, super greedy, because that's like a prime time
19
Jerry Ryan. To
Yeah.
have prime time Jerry Ryan be like, yeah, it's not so good. Like I
Again,
need more
yeah,
women. You have to
greedy.
be kind of a greedy asshole to
Yes.
be in that position.
Yeah, that's 1999, Jerry, or 1998.
That's like a situation that like you're being a greedy asshole. I'm sorry. I know that like Emperor Goodwin is impressed with his like initiative.
No.
but if-
I think more importantly, he wasn't greedy. He was trying to share his wealth with the people.
I don't know, man. I think he was super greedy.
No, he's
All
trying
right,
to share his
no.
wealth with the people.
Now, listen, this is an old picture, but zoom in on her face. Like, I'm telling you, she was already hitting the wall.
Yeah. Maybe he was starting to notice the signs, and he was like, "Well,
This is not what
This
she
was
looked
too
like in
long ago.
1999 or
No,
whatever
no,
it is.
no, I'm
looks like a
saying,
picture from
no,
yesterday.
absolutely. No, I'm saying this was before Star Trek Picard season 3. Like, everybody's still like, oh, she's so hot. No, this is
no."
way after-
Anybody that was saying that needs to have their cataracts replaced, removed from their eyes.
For whatever age she was in that Star Trek Picard thing, for whatever age she was in, I think she looked decent. But obviously, she's not the same as like
Yeah.
the primetime
Yeah,
version.
yeah.
And
She
that
looked-
guy had the primetime version.
Oh, yeah. She's
Yeah.
turning into Kermit the Frog, though. Look at that face. It's Kermit.
I don't know. You're a bit harsh, Ista. I think that she's still like, a lovely woman. Obviously, you're not going to stay the same thing you were like when you were 20. So obviously she's older.
Yeah, my point is, I don't really need her to be back on Star Trek. It's not the old 7 of 9.
No.
That is fair enough.
Yeah, the characters, the way they wrote those characters. I mean, Picard seasons 1 and 2, I think, were some of the worst TV I've ever read. And I was my mother-in-law. I got her into Star Trek because she was English teacher loves Shakespeare. So I'm like, you got to watch. We've got this new Shakespearean actor on Star Trek, and kind of a joke. I made her watch some episodes with me, and she ended up loving Next Generation. So I'd always get her like Picard action figures, or like, I don't know, Grampy's maybe getting a little jealous here, And then I didn't even mention it to her. I'm like, well, Grammy, did you happen to see that new Picard TV show? She's like, that was the biggest steaming pile of garbage. She said a little more eloquently with her, verbiage that I've ever seen in my life. She's like, he destroyed the character of Picard. She's like, how horrible was that? And and that was Patrick Stewart just as a self-insert, right? That we get these actors today.
It wasn't. No, it was just his. It was his idea for the show, which is worse, much worse than a self-insert.
Yeah, but in the second season was all about, it was basically him, with his drama and yada, yada, yada. And it didn't resemble Picard in any way, shape, or form.
No, the first season, none of it did. And
yeah.
So, Price, you recognize it? I figured Price and Jay must know Herb Alpert.
I've actually got that record.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder my dad had 5 copies of that.
Yeah.
The records kept wearing out.
Yeah, back when they made real music, too.
Well, the covers kept wearing out anyway.
Well, I don't have this, unfortunately, no.
Oh, you don't? It's kind of a classic, but...
Yeah.
No, I don't have it.
You got to zoom in on it. Yeah, you got to zoom in on it.
No, I mean, you can Google Herb Alpert or the whipped cream lady. She's all over. I'm just saying.
Be very careful when Googling the whipped cream lady.
No, you have to put Herb Alpert in there. Absolutely. Yeah. But I, this is back in the days when, you had actual albums with big album art and you could just sit and go through your collection, and it's like being at a museum and just, boy, you open up Santana Abraxas. That thing is mesmerizing. I could stare at that album for hours.
That whipped cream must have started to smell after a while, though.
I want to read some names here that the professor sent me from Rumble. Darren Mai, Elizabeth Quince, Folsom Lockdown, Psycho Magus, Deeple 101, Dude Rose Seth 420, God Bless 5697, Double R Star, Alonzo Musk, Tim M. Hayes, and Entropy Nomad. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yes. And over on YouTube, we had Lasher, Red Pilled Rants, Anthony Draven, Jim Noxious, Shannon K, Darren M, The Real Sean Crummel, Robot Head, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Fishbulb.
I didn't actually.
Yeah, no. He only was here for like 5 minutes. So
okay.
he made like one chat and then walked away.
Okay.
Fishbulb, Samsung, Badfoot, Rogue's Backstory, DK Kitchen, Mark S47, Marla Sharondoff, Ethereal Dragon, Echo 32, Echo 7, DJ Ronnie G, Con Lives, Con! Arturo Alejandro Trevino, Lucy Meow, iLord Corey, Angry Sparrow, Electronic Progression, George's I Rex, Whalemo 3, Malachi D. Wildman, Trevtune Art, Mark D with a C, Yitis, Stephen Mack, The Dead Man, The Real Headcase, E. Clay Thomason, Ron Donafero, Kira Runte, Tim Hayes, Gavin Unit, Strugun, Emperor Goodwin, Tomahawk 511, Istophobos, Putin, Big Sur River, Jason Webster, Mexican Iron Man, and Piggy in a Onesie. So thank you all for hanging out with us this evening. We did get some fan funding from our friends over on. We did not get any on Rumble. I got some on YouTube though. Jason Webster, Mexican Iron Man, Piggy in a Onesie. We appreciate the support this evening.
Yeah, when did Tim add the M in his Tim Hayes? That's new to me.
Is that only on Rumble?
That was on Rumble.
Yeah, I think it's slightly different.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me do a raid.
I love that Price of Reason is putting my YouTube channel where I do absolutely nothing.
Well, get some subs.
You should put a video up there of all of the other channels where you do something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll put an empty video where it reflects. It's my greatest hits of the channel.
All right, well now you have 16 subscribers.
I'm not doing anything until I get 1,000.
Yeah, no, you don't want subscribers without engagement, though. That hurts you. So
Yeah, you better do something.
so
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if you only have 10, YouTube sees that. It's like
What are they going to do? Penalize me in
no
the
engagement.
algorithm? I don't make videos.
You are not an awesome guy. You don't make any videos.
No.
We have to change the subtitle of the show to like, the male gaze.
Yeah, the body
Or
shaming
something.
hour with the night owls.
Yeah, spell gays right, please.
Yeah.
Or how Barack Obama got elected president.
Yeah.
Thanks
So many
to a
important
failed
things were
threesome.
discussed here. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, that was.
I want to thank the panel here today. First of all, I want to. How did the order got messed up and nobody said
It's because
anything?
I got booted out because the browser issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. In any case, I want to thank my co-host, Professor R2, and of course our VIP Night Owl panel members, which is Mark D with the Cianistophobos. I dropped some links before. You should check out what they're doing. And of course, our special guest today, Emperor Goodwin, who I've recently we did one stream when it was like in the middle of the night, and it seemed to go on forever.
It was your accidental stream. You didn't realize you were streaming it to YouTube. So it was
Right,
a
it was supposed to
stream.
be something else, and at the end, it ended up being that I'm on YouTube talking to Emperor Goodwin about all these music albums in the middle of the night. But it was very funny.
man.
So
Hey, I didn't trigger your OCD with my Steam floating in for no reason in midair there. So doesn't
No,
that
why?
usually bother you when the Steam doesn't align with the cup, or am I mistaking you for Mr. Brown?
I don't have that kind of OCD.
Yeah,
I don't really
if
care
it's
that
OCD,
much.
it's going to be brown.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at. Oh my God! Now I can't unsee it. I
Yeah,
gotta fix
just the
that.
steam just floating in the middle of nowhere. No.
Well, in any case, pleasure as always, and I enjoyed hanging out with you guys and with everybody here in the chat. And today is Thursday, so we do this show every Tuesday and Thursday at 11:45 p.m. We will see you here on Tuesday at 11:45 p.m. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Take
Thanks
care,
for having
everyone.
us.